Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. I city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey when me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car cards to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Stuff on the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Stuff on the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not go that far.
I'm glad we didn't get that when we went live. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the next podcast. And yes, I know, chat, before you hit up the chat and let me know how the icons are not appearing right now, I see that and I will fix it for you guys, okay? But what is going on? We are back with a traditional show. I know last week we kind of did a live reaction. I had a plan to do a live reaction, but because I didn't think people really cared about the actual awards that much, so I figured, we'll have the show on, we'll have topics to talk about, and then whenever they go world premiere or something, we'll shut the fuck up and we'll go for that. But it didn't turn out that way. But it was a lot of fun last week, and it was more like a traditional live reaction. But we are back, and we have stuff to talk about. We have games to talk about, people. Not only that, we have discussion of an incredible offer that was put out there by Microsoft and Xbox that for some rhyme or reason just wasn't picked up and accepted or even brought to the table when it came to a certain deal that people love to talk about, on a day-by-day basis. But before we get into that, guys, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out wherever you go to talk video games, wherever there are gamers hanging around and sharing their opinion. You need to put this link in there and let them know they should be here doing that. But while you're doing that, we will get into the intros. And I'm going to start with, I don't usually do it too much. So let me start at the 405. This man has been here from the beginning. I don't know how he puts up with me, but somehow, some way, he ends up coming in here every week. Of course, it is my brother K Mega. K Mega, what is going on, man?
What's going on? What's happening? Man, enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying that Midnight Suns life, man. It's
hold
like
on.
It right
are
now.
you high on life right now?
Midnight Suns.
There's nothing you can say.
Yeah, there's nothing that
You can't tear me away, man.
Yeah.
No, hold on. He posted a clip. He got through the first boss at least.
Yeah. I wasn't going to come on the show without playing the game, when the game is accessible. So, so you can give you my thoughts. But yeah, no, but right now, I mean, Midnight Suns is burning oil right now. Like we just going to go through it tonight. But anyway, good to be here. Letting people know this is going to be my last show for a while. I got surgery next week. So last week was my last GRG for the year. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into doing things. If I feel better, then I'll come back earlier. But if I, but from what from what the doctors is telling me and stuff like that, it's going to take me a little bit to get back to form. So, anywhere from maybe the second week of next year, that'll be cool. If any earlier than that, then I'll be back. But got to take a little hiatus. I'll still stream a little bit until I get my surgery. So that fight night will definitely be popping. Appreciate everybody who came through last weekend. Anyway, that's it, man. Just letting people know, man. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping.
Nice, brother. And next on the list, we have to go down south. People might know him out there. He is a celebrity when it comes to his OnlyFans. I mean, we have his number one fan in here tonight with us as well. But of course, I am talking about Predator. Predator, what is going on, bro?
Not much, man. My number one fan is slacking lately. I need that cash. Lewis holidays, man. Daddy trying to spend some money.
Oh,
step your game up, bro. Drop that tip money.
He doesn't even have anything to say. He's like,
he's like, shit, he's right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's the holidays. That's why I just don't have the money, man. I don't have the money, man.
I've been taking care of you all year. You can't take care of me for the last one. I got you, bro. I got you. No, man, not much going on, man. Just watching football and I'm getting ready to move. I bought a house. Actually, I close on it next month, so
nice.
I'm moving to that bitch. So,
you got you a new
I'm
house?
busy. Yeah, I got a new
house. You gonna bring another woman so I can take her?
Oh,
shit!
The house of K Mega destroyed. What's going on?
Well, you being all sick this month. I mean, the girl's supposed to come down and holler at me this weekend.
You know what? I you know what I'm saying? You can get me right now. I'm gonna be down and out, but don't worry about it, man. When I can get back,
I'll be up and in. Don't worry about
it. He's like, friends look out for each other.
Bang.
Hey.
Oh, goodness. All right, I am working on the whole icon situation, just to let people know. Mr. Percolator over there. I am trying to fix it. I will get it straightened out. But let's see. Next on the list, the Angry Otter is here, people. The West Coast man himself, Dark Optimus. Dark, what is going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been on, so I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop by. I actually told K Mega I was gonna stop by last week on GRG, but I reluctantly didn't mention it to you because I was like, well, I'll just surprise him. But yeah, dude, I've been on that Midnight Suns life and that Witcher 3 life. It's a good life, but yet it's a long and strenuous.
Witcher 3, you play, so you're trying to say you play old games then? Is that what you're trying to say?
Dude, I you know how many times I played this fucking game? I don't even want to say how many times I played this game. Let's just say I've finished it more than once.
So he said about 20 years. He's been playing this game for about 20 years when it comes down to it, man. But yo, guys,
Close.
we definitely got a lot to talk about here. I want to start on the games side of things more than like the business side. Let people get in before we get into like the juicy quote unquote hot topic or whatnot. So, it's been out for a while, but we have a panel member that has beaten God of War Ragnarok, and he said when he beat it, he was going to give us his kind of like complete thoughts, impressions on the game. Now we're just coming off the Video Game Awards where Elden Ring won Game of the Year. Now there was quite a there's quite a few upset people out there figuring that God of War Ragnarok was kind of like cemented to win that Game of the Year award. So Pred, you got through, you beat Ragnarok. You got to let us know your thoughts on the game, and do you think with you played Elden Ring and now you played Ragnarok, do you think the voting was accurate for the Video Game Awards, man?
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, I think some of the smaller Game of the Year I thought was Elden Ring. But some of the smaller awards, I think some of them could have gone in different directions. I mean, it's kind of a toss up with them all. But I will admit I did not finish Elden Ring, but I would say that the reason why I thought it was Game of the Year was because God of War Ragnarok was just God of War from before. You're just getting more of the story, some different combat mechanics a little bit, but it was to me it felt like a lot of the same games, a continuation of the other one. So with Elden Ring, you got people like myself, K Mega, some other people who kind of jumped into that genre that would never play it before. I think it just brought a bigger fan base to that kind of genre of gaming, which made it, to me, that alone made it, that much more special because, I'm not a Souls guy at all. It's not my bag, but I did get into Elden Ring enough to enjoy it to some degree. And when you got other people who jumped into that genre that never played it before and loved it, and gave it high praise, I think that right there, it did something different in the community. It got people into something they typically would not play. Whereas everyone's going to play God of War regardless. The same people that played the last God of War, the same people who played this God of War, and maybe a few new people too. But I think Elden Ring kind of brought a new respect for that genre to people who typically would not have played it before. As far as the game itself, God of War, yeah, I mean, I know life the fuck out of that game. I probably could have beat it earlier, but I went to Houston and I was doing a bunch of other shit with work. You know me, I'll take a couple of days off and just kill a game. And I probably could have finished that and platinumed it maybe like about 5 days prior to when I did it. But I took some breaks. I watched some football. I went to a couple of sports bars. I got drunk a couple of times. Can't make a girl came over. I mean, so I was busy.
Oh man,
He's again.
But it's true.
I mean,
he started.
But I will say, I did enjoy the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you could if it would have won Game of the Year, I wouldn't have been upset, either. I did really think it was a really good game. I didn't see a lot of issues with the mechanics of the gameplay or anything like that with it. There were some parts in there, and I think at this point, people should have gotten pretty far in the game by now. I think Dark, you beat it too, right?
What?
You beat the main story, right? God of War.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I platinumed that.
Okay, so there were some parts in the game where in the beginning when we were talking about this, I thought, man, this game, like I'm doing shit, and then the pacing changes because they make me add this other character, or they make me do this. Like, maybe I don't want to play with with Loki. Maybe I want to play but the way they did it, and by the time the game ended, I was like, I'm kind of glad they did that. It gave me a break from just Kratos and I forgot the guy's name with the head. So it broke. I think
Was
it
it
did a
Mimir?
better Mimir, yeah.
Mimir! I only remember that from crap. From the first God of War. That's all he would say on the podcast. He'd be like, Mimir! I'm like, oh my goodness, man. But go ahead, bro.
No, it was a after I came back and looked at the totality of the game, it actually was it was a good little change of pace. Like that one, I think when it got me was like that one story where you're fighting the grandmother, like that whole scene, that whole area, right? And anyone who's played it knows what I'm talking about. Like that whole section, you're playing as Loki, you're with the girl, and you're
Yep.
doing all this shit, and then you go fight the grandmother. It was just different for God of War for me, and it was like at the time I played it, I was like, man, it's like, why am I doing this right now? Like, and then it all kind of came together later, and I think the storytelling of how this game, I think particularly how it kind of changed the characters and changed things up a little bit for you, and it all kind of brought it together, made it make sense at the end. It actually was really well done. In the beginning, I didn't like it at all. But after I finished the game, I was like, oh, okay, and this is why. And then at the end, after I beat the main story, you have to go back and kind of get all the other shit you need to finish up, the platinums and stuff like that. And those fucking not the that one Valkyrie at the end.
Oh, like the main Valkyrie or whatever?
What did you say again, Dark? The Berserkers. Those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That last one and that last one.
Yeah,
the
dude.
last knob after that, those two motherfuckers. I
Yeah.
spent a day each trying to kill those motherfuckers.
Same.
Each. I mean, like all day. I woke up at like 7, started playing, then like 4 o'clock, I finally finished killing those motherfuckers. I had to put the controller down and walk away. I was getting so fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
And I had the best armor. I had everything I needed. I tried to fight them earlier, and I was like, I'm not powerful enough. Let me go get some gear. Let me go ahead and get all this other shit. So I get the best gear. I get everything fucking leveled up. I go in there, and they still fucking. So like, and there's nothing else I could do at that point. There's nothing else I could do to make my strong. I had to keep dying to fucking figure it out. And it took me, and I say it took a day from each. It took a day. I'm not even joking. I mean, like 4 p.m. after playing this motherfucker like 30 times, getting pissed off, walking away, going to the store, taking a break, coming back. Like I finally beat these motherfuckers, and I was like, God damn it, finally! And I was like, I still gotta fight this knob bitch. And I had to go, so I had to go. I think I beat her last, I think, or something like that. I can't remember who I beat first. Whoever I beat first, I realized I still gotta go back and kill this one. And there was other parts of it too, where it's like, I thought I was getting the achievements, or I thought I was done with everything, and then like, oh shit, another fucking story pops up that I didn't know about,
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, I thought I was done with all this shit. Like, where the fuck did this story come from? So I mean, there was a lot more to do in the game than I thought there was, especially as you platinum it. If you just want to rush through it and finish the main story, you're good. But if you're trying to platinum it, you're gonna run into some other side quest that gonna take some time to get all the platinum trophies, all the trophies you want. And that, I think that part of it frustrated me. I kept thinking, I'm almost done. Oh wait, I gotta do this shit now. Oh, I gotta hear and do this, and so like, but I will say there was a lot more to do in that game. And I don't know how many hours I put into it, but it was a lot, and it was a really good game.
All right, so in other words, you had a good time. You feel like it could have went either way when it came to the game of the year. I got you on that. So basically, you would recommend this game to somebody, if they're like, hey, should I pick this up to check it out?
And I'm not even a fan of paying $70 for a game, but I will say that I felt like I got my work out of this game.
Same.
Even though it doesn't have any like DLC, which was disappointing, or I mean, after you finish the game and you platinum it, there's really not much else to do. And I know Crispy, if he was here, he'd be like, yeah, should have had an online mode or something like that. And they may come up with like, what's it called? Like that arena you fight in type shit.
It should have been in the realm of co-op and have multiplayer, because Crispy is a multiplayer guy. and where's the replay value if it doesn't have co-op or multiplayer?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I see where you're coming from that. But like, even if you were able to play like, co-op and have someone play with the other character, that would have been cool too. But because I don't think there were any solo missions in there. I always had a companion.
It seemed like that's the way it's kind of set up, though. You know what I'm saying? Like to have it's you and somebody. It seems like that's the structure of it. I do want to say what up to Boba. Boba is in the building. What is up, Boba? RG Viper. He said God of War Ragnarok was just DLC. Now, this is my last question when it comes to God of War with you, Pred. So. What do you think about that whole kind of like stereotype, that whole kind of like thinking? Did it feel like DLC to the first game to you? What do you think about people that say that it's basically just DLC?
If it would have been like 4 hours long, I could agree with that. I probably put 50 plus hours.
I put 70. So
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And I say 50 plus because I don't really know. I can tell on PlayStation how many hours I played, but like I easily put 50 plus hours. So like, no, it's not DLC. It's a continuation of the first story. If you want to say it that way, yes. But
With no real like big changes in it, but it's the story continued through basically.
Yeah, and there's some different mechanics in it. Like I said, you playing with the characters. I actually like playing with Loki when he had the sword he got. I love playing with that. Like I love having that sword, and I can see that being a thing going forward if they decide to continue his storyline in the game. But I think they set it up where, I don't want to give out too many spoilers, but I think it's set up where they can probably go a different direction with Loki and kind of slide Kratos in there at some point. And, I don't know how they're going to go forward with the story right now.
I heard that Egypt, supposedly Egypt is next from the way it ended. I didn't get any details on the way it ended, but in terms of Kratos, I heard something about him possibly like heading towards Egypt, something that was said at the end or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't really care about spoilers too much. It's been out for a while right now, and yeah.
So, I don't remember if I saw that because I tried to I wait for the credits to roll and see if there's something that pop up. I don't remember seeing anything. There probably was. I still remember.
The next God of War, Kratos goes to hell, like Christian hell. I don't know.
like Jason goes to hell or some shit like that.
Dude, I didn't use my demon voice. Man, I'm slipping already with the soundboard, and I'm slipping, bro.
You know K Mega. Let's just say that.
Ooh, K Mega doesn't change his voice though.
Cue up the jazz flute.
All right, he don't do that
he
shit.
Don't need to. He's just quick with it.
Oh, who was it checking out the gameplay? Of course, it was RG Viper. That is right. That was Knifey. Guys, when it comes to this game, High on Life, how come? This is going to sound really weird. I feel like Knifey doesn't talk enough in the game. Like, my gun is talking all the time. But, after I first got Knifey was all about stab him, stab that, stab this. I just want stab, stab, stab. And it seems like his dialogue's kind of just falling off a cliff, man. I need more Knifey opinions in my game. But yeah,
we'll get to that topic next.
Yeah, that was kind of like I was building a segue, man. I was building it up, from what was said in the chat. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're going next. We're gonna get
talk about his God of War experience.
No, he doesn't. He's Dark has talked about it plenty on Crossfire. Okay, so he's good.
Did I? Because I didn't really get to talk about anything on that show.
Is there anything you would like to add about God of War DLC? I mean God of War Ragnarok. Did I say DLC? I meant Ragnarok, man. My bad.
Yeah. I'll let it go. Just gotta let it go.
Hey, I did it.
Man,
I did it, man.
Fred,
I think Fred has said it best. It's a great game. I think it's definitely worth the $70. if you definitely love God of War and you I think if you loved 2018, you're gonna love this one. I don't think if you didn't like 2018 or loved 2018, I don't think you're gonna like this one at all. Yeah, I just think that it was a good game. I don't think it was game of the year in my opinion. Of course, mine was A Plague Tale Requiem. That game really had some moments where it was just whoa. But yeah, I think Elden Ring was definitely worth the game of the year. It definitely was well warranted, even though I'm not a huge fan of the game. I can see it was nice to see that people who don't like those type of games get into it and enjoy it. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you. Wow. How come I'm coming through there as well? Yo, something's going on with my audio. I'm trying to fix it as we go. So, guys, please bear with me here. But yeah, like I said, I want to get into High on Life. It is a game that came out by Squanch Games. For people who don't know, it is made by one of the creators of Rick and Morty, the animated series. What was it, on Cartoon Network, I believe?
Adult Swim, yeah, Cartoon Network.
Yeah. All right. I actually never. Yeah. Well, yeah. I actually muted any of the extras, and they said that the echo was gone, but that like I just muted that side again. It's actually all going through one capture. It's not like input output. It's one capture. It's in a beta right now, so I don't know.
It was the whole vortex thing when you came in.
No, the voice mod.
Yeah, the voice mod that you had on. I don't know how that happened when you came in. Just voice mod came through.
You mean this right here? Is this what you're talking about? Yeah, that one.
All right, because he said everybody else sounded low, so I'm trying to get it perfect for you guys. Again, I'm good with the visuals. I'm good with the visuals. Not great with the audio, man. I got to learn this audio stuff for real. But yeah, let's get into High on Life again. A game created by one of the creators of Rick and Morty. So when it comes to the humor, it's gonna be interesting, I guess you could say. It is kind of right up my alley with kind of like the darker humor and stuff. There's one point in time where you're going down into the slums. This kid gets in front of you, and he's really freaking annoying, and you can't talk to the guy to the side of you. And I ended up shooting the kid in the head, and it turned into this whole comedic thing. I met his mom, and she was like, "Well, don't worry about it. Like technically, he's 30." But stuff like that. The game's freaking funny, man. That's the first thing I can say. For people who don't know, there's this alien species. They're basically like living guns. They have different guns can shoot different things. The blue one is the first one that you get, and of course later on, in kind of like the beginning of the story, you do meet up with Knifey, and you end up having him as well. Cartoon based, dark, kind of like adult, definitely adult humor. I mean, your sister was, chasing the white rabbit right at the beginning of the story, asking you if you want some. I did think it was interesting how you picked your face, looking in the mirror of her compact where she's got all her yayo, like right there. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, that's kind of funny.
That was hilarious. I was like, it's not even weed, man. They bumped it up to like.
They went full blown, dude.
They went 70s disco with the white powder, man. That's where they went.
For sure.
I was like, that shit's crazy, man. But I like stuff like that. I like that. I like that kind of adult humor. I do like the art style. I like the aesthetic. I don't know. I think it's cool. I didn't beat the game yet. I did see that people have already beaten the game. So they've been playing it like no lifing it since it came out. When did it come out? Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. And here we are on Thursday. So, 2-3 days later. And, people are like, yeah, beat the game or whatnot. But, I don't know. K-Meg, I did see that you got to the first boss. So I saw that you're playing it. What do you think right now? I know reviews were kind of mixed when it comes to Meta Who. New game comes out, especially day one in Game Pass. It seems like, any of the haters out there, the first thing they do is they look at Metacritic to see what the score is. If the score is good, then they say how reviewers were paid off, and if the scores are bad, this is what was expected from a game to go into Game Pass day and date. So it's like a no-win situation there. But let me know, man. What do you think about High on Life so far, bro? Pew pew. Dude, well, the guns do feel different because they're not bullets, so they are kind of floaty, man. You notice that? Like,
No, I mean, okay, for me, this is one of those games. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, so I could not play this game. Couldn't do that. I just, it's just too much.
it'd be too much.
Yes, but play this game. Go back to something else, Requiem, whatever. Go play something like that. But I think the game is definitely not bad whatsoever. I like it. It's a trip. I thought that like when I was reading what people were saying when they were dogging it out, like I seen Kev bring up something that was just completely destroying the game, saying it was awful. Past farther, how could Xbox promote this trash? And I'm like, damn. But then what happened was that
Who said that? Hold on, Kev said that?
Yeah, Kev said that. I was like,
shit.
What the hell? Like, I mean, yeah, I've seen Kev be a little messy, but he went all the way out. Like, so I was like, what is going on? And then so I seen another person talk about how it was buggy and it wasn't playing right or whatever. And then a day one patch comes out or it's day one or somewhere it's somewhere during the line where people they've already played it, like I guess that midnight or whatever before and when it first launched, and then they didn't get a chance to wait for the day one patch to come through, which came later the next day. And now everybody was like, no, the game runs smooth, it's this and that. So I could tell anybody that has not got a chance to play the game that the game runs smooth. There's no hitches or issues at all. So I mean, so for that aspect, so like when you've seen when people was knocking it for saying it wasn't playable, it is very playable. I know it's funny. It's just a trip. Like, I mean, to me, these type of games are a breath of fresh air. Like somebody gave this, and I can't remember the person's name when I posted my clip on Twitter. They said, Xbox. Well, of course, every time that there's a game that somebody likes, they want Xbox to acquire them, right? But I will admit that even if no acquirements and nothing like that, but if Xbox could talk to them to do a bad,
Conquer.
I
knew it. Anytime.
Right. But I mean, they would be perfect for that. Like, I mean, it's just, some things are just the random things that they just say or do, like the dude, like the knife was like, let me just stop him, lift up your shirt and let me stab you in the belly. That shit had me dying. I was cracking up. Like, so,
Knifey's the man, bro. Knifey is the man.
Let me get them guts and get it and twist and go around. He's a nut, right? So yeah, no, he has me cracking up. The gun, he's very talkative. Of course, I think the only thing that would annoy me is the robot. But I haven't seen enough of them yet.
You haven't met when you go after the dude with the drill on his head, you get to a different planet, and there's this little floating thing. And I saw Kid Smooth posted on Twitter about this thing, right? This thing is leaving the cartel that you are going up against. And he never had a friend, so he sits in your vision constantly, just talking about shit from his life.
my god!
Like
He's
the
gonna
whole
be
time.
annoying. Yeah, because they had the option. I said, "Oh, this asshole's gonna
Hey, yo.
really annoy me." But I mean, but that's the character of the game. The game is,
Exactly.
and that's what I like about it. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. I mean, if you're looking for this to be something of the serious tone, or if if something, if a piece of cardboard or something doesn't break, this is not the type of game that this is. This game is more about the visuals, which the visuals are really nice for them to be their very first title, and on top of it being, a lower budget title. But also it's about the comedic. If you are a big fan of Rick and Morty, you're definitely going to love this game, right? And I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. I haven't watched the newer episodes in a while, but I need to catch up. But what I'm saying, it definitely feels like it's going to have that witty way about it. Like at the very beginning of the game, I already knew what this game was about, and I was in for it because because when he was playing like the Doom game or whatever, that Doom-like game, and he was like, you do the double jump, and then you don't do the double jump, and then he's like, how the hell are you going to be the second game and you don't do the double jump? Well, just crouch. Just fucking crouch. Just give a crouch. How do you get a crouch? I was cracking. It makes me laugh, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. If the game is giving you the humor that you love, that's it. And that's the
Yeah, I
reason,
played that part high as shit, and that was hilarious, bro.
right. Like it was great. So, for me, the critics are definitely not going to like a game like this because of the fact it's cringy, it's vulgar, it's something that the old ways of how we remember video games used to be, and we enjoyed them as gamers growing up. But there's a newer reviewers that look at this as being too offensive, and so critics is going to dog this out, right? I read like 3 critics because of course I read them just to see. I don't care what they think. I just want to read what they say, just for the fact of to get an understanding of when we talk about this stuff. So I was more like, I just wanted to kind of just read, and all 3 were pretty much the same. Like, and the latest one that I read was the one from Game Informer, and he said pretty much the same thing. Like it was boring, the lack of the gunplay, and then this cringe comedic where it was too over the top, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, look, this is exactly what video games need. The video game industry needs all types of genres of games.
Dude, it's a Generation X game. Is exactly what it is.
Right. Well, this is a game that used to be kind of like the norm. You would get games like this all the time. They would be AA, just crazy games and oversexualized.
Even like Comic Jumper on the 360. Remember Comic Jumper?
Oh yeah, like Big Mother Truckers. All that.
Big Mother Truckers. Oh man,
all these type of games that we used to sit there and we play that were people that were cringy and over-sexualized and all this and just cussing and foul mouth and everything else. But those games still have a place in the gaming space. But the journalists, some journalists, not all, but the journalists that I've seen that do the reviews, those 3, they all had the same take with that. This pretty much this is too childish for the adult gamer. And to me, I thought that this is why the user number is so high, because people long for these type of games. And that's why I look at it like it's not something that I will play it and I will beat it. Like if you tell me that this game is 25 hours long, I probably wouldn't beat it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have so much of hearing the gun talk to me and annoying the hell out of me, right? Like I would get tired of it. But so if I hear that people getting it beat in 2 days, that means the game is anywhere from around 7 to 12 hours. I think that's perfect, right? Like, that's perfect for a game like that. Get it knocked out, have a good time, move on to something else. But these games are they're needed. And I hope games like this come back, because I think with all these serious tone type games, I think we lose the fact of what gaming is all about with the humor and other
just a general fun.
Yeah, just a general fun. Because when you look at gamers now, when they get into social media, what's the thing that they always critique a game for? Is that it's for how was the story? Is it driven to where it's captivating? No, man, hell with that. I don't care. This story here is completely off the wall. It's nutty. It doesn't really make sense at the point to where I'm at, but it's fun, and I love that for that. So I recommend it for people who just want to come in here just to play. Let's not try to break down every aspect of a game to see if this is going to be compared to the next game of the year or whatever the hell, or if this game will be nominated. Some games are really, really great without even being nominated, and I think that this is a game that I think a lot of people should just give it a try if they have not played a game this crazy and wild.
I got you, bro. I got you. Now,
Yeah.
as you're talking, I'm also checking out the gameplay, bro. Look at that Lamborghini in Unbound. That right there is absolute
Nice.
fire.
I plan on buying it. I had to uninstall because I had to put the Witcher.
Oh, what you do, the
back in.
10-hour thing, and then
Yeah, I did about 8 hours, and then I was like, you know what? I know I'm finna buy this, so I'm finna go ahead and I'll cop this later on, probably hopefully around Christmas, and then but you know, The Witcher.
bro, I am so happy. I think I made the right decision. It was either this or Callisto Protocol.
Oh,
and when
you definitely made the
when
right
I saw that the developers didn't even bother making a Series X, Series S version of that game, I'm like, yeah, nah, this is the right decision right here, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to give them my money if they're not even going to, treat my console properly and just, give me the Xbox One version. Nah, fuck that, yo.
Yeah, December is coming out with it came with some heat this year for sure.
Nice. Let's see. Let's get Pred, High on Life, bro. Have you played it?
Yeah, I have a little bit. I didn't get too far in the game. I got through the up to the first boss.
Now I know, Pred, you get into either heavy stories or you get into the first person shooter, kind of like team based military stuff like that. What do you think about High on Life? What you played so far, bro?
I don't know. The commentary had me fucking cracking up, man. Just from the beginning. And I ain't gonna lie, when I first booted it up and it had me doing that fucking Doom level, I was like, what the fuck did I load up? Like, I was like, I actually restarted it. I was like, this can't be right. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, okay, so maybe, and plus I was playing on PC, so it was really, I didn't have the settings set up right yet. And so I was like, man, this thing is buggy as fuck. So what the fuck is wrong with this game? And so I went and then after I restarted it, and I realized this probably is the game. Maybe they're just doing some weird shit just in the beginning. And so, but the beginning just threw me off. Like all that fucking game you were playing in the beginning threw me the fuck off. I really thought I loaded up the wrong game. And so I restarted it, jumped back in, fixed the settings, started playing through that bullshit, and then
they gotta make a complete game of that game for like $2 or something like that.
Yeah, right. And
it was something Thunder. I forgot the name of that shit. Yeah.
I was like, did I get the right game? Like, did I download the right shit? I legit went back to my screen and I looked at the game and I was like, this is right. Like, did I hit the wrong? And I thought maybe I hit the wrong, mode or something like that. Maybe I had like a dumb mode or something on there. I don't know. But anyway, I went back in and started playing it. And then I got through that level. And then I get to the scene where the girl's got the coke on the thing. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, this is about to be fun.
Yo, I stepped back like, damn, bro.
Vision dreams of past. I said, damn.
Yeah, in the beginning, and when I first was sitting there staring at it, I was like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, because I didn't know I did left or right to change my character. I was just looking at it like, I was like, this bitch has coke in front of me. Like, what am I supposed to do with this shit? And so I'm looking for like a prompt or something, like hold A to sniff or something like that. And so I finally realized, I gotta pick my character here. But then as you get to the game, it goes straight into just randomness. You get the gun, you start running around, and then I was annoyed at first because the fucking gun would not shut the fuck up. I was like, bro, shut up, and then I realized that's what it's supposed to do, that's why it's facing you with a mouth, so, and I'm sure it's going to get more, like you said, with the kid part, and that's why I knew I was going to have fun with this game, because the little kid was pushing me, and I kept trying to shoot it, and the guy's like, we're not shooting the kid, man, I draw the line with that,
Yeah.
And then I go to the mom, she's like, you can shoot him if you want, so I'm like, first thing I did, I turned right fuck around. I went and shot that motherfucker. And And the gun was like, "Look what you did! You just killed the kid. Are you happy now?" Da, da, da. And so like, and I've seen some other like some of the gameplay of this before. When so, I guess they were like in some like camp or something, and the guy starts shooting everybody there. He's like, "Oh my god, you killed Todd!" You know, it's like, and like I don't know, like the humor in it was this breath. You know, it was a refreshing aspect of gaming for me at the time because like everything's so serious all the time. That we play. It's like this was like, you know what? This is just, it's just mindless fun. To shoot everything. You got this thing talking shit to you for comic, relief, whatever. And so it was fun. I mean, I'm not far in the game at all, but I definitely can see myself putting some more time into it and finishing it up. It's just Knifey's hilarious. When you pick him off the table, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna cut your asshole open. You're just gonna shit things just gonna fall out of your ass."
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
Like what?
Pet's like, yo, this is my type of game right here, man.
I was like, oh shit, this is what we doing? Oh man. So I mean, the only thing I compared to this that kind of caught me off guard was like Cyberpunk, and you go like walk around the city and everything's like just fucking dildos everywhere. Like
what part of the city
please
were
tell me I
you
wasn't
at,
the only
bro?
one to notice that.
Oh, you didn't see that? You didn't see that neighborhood? I mean,
Oh, there's a bunch of like
it's like a red
Wisconsin
light
dildos
district.
everywhere,
Yeah.
like just like randomly everywhere. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
where the prostitute is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh shit. I don't know. But well, there's DLC coming out
He's
for
not used to
that
seeing
at
big
some
dicks, so
point.
he
And
don't
I'll be
know.
playing. I'll be playing that again. So, but
Xbox not used to looking
He
at
gonna
big
look
dicks,
for that.
man.
He gonna look for that streetwalker. Ooh,
be like, yo, have you seen the dildo area? Like, I'm curious.
No, it's like everywhere. You can't miss it. It's like every corner you turn, there's a fucking penis staring at you. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, damn, I had to turn this shit off. My kids were in the house. I was like, oh, let me play this later. But yeah,
So-
I
so
like
you
the
said
game. I think it's a fun game.
So you said you're gonna finish it then? Is what you're saying? Man?
I'll finish it.
Nice.
I won't make it. I won't make it like a Witcher 3. I won't make it a Witcher 3 endeavor, but I'll finish it in the next couple of weeks. I think if it's really short. I don't think I have anything else to play right now anyway. So
Yeah. The first boss like that was pretty cool, man. It took a second to get a hang of like swinging around and all that good stuff, but if the other bosses are as creative as what they did with the first one, yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a good ride, bro. It's definitely gonna be a good ride. Let's ask Mr. Optimus over here. Optimus, have you tried High on Life yet?
No.
Why the fuck not?
Not any particular reason at all. Just been enjoying what I have right now with Midnight Suns, and The Witcher 3 is out now with its next gen update. That I'm just like, The Witcher, man, is just one of those games that once you start playing it again, it pulls you in, and you just don't want to stop. So. Yeah, it's just right now I'm kind of focused on those two, and then hopefully maybe at some point here soon I can jump in and play High on Life. It sounds like a cool game. I mean, from what I've seen of it, and from what I've seen people talking about it, it looks good. It looks fun. It looks hilarious. There was moments when I was watching certain clips and stuff, like the whole cocaine one. That shit, I was just like
that ruffled some feathers too, from what I understand.
I was like, yeah, but me, I was like sitting there. I was like, I've been there.
Oh shit! Oh,
in a past life.
he said, at least it wasn't crack.
When you're young and stupid, do some dumb shit, and just
Listen,
like,
I've done ecstasy, I've done acid, I've done weed, and I've drank. Man, I never touched the powder, bro. That's one thing.
Yeah. Fortunately, yeah, I've been there. But yeah, it's just it was funny. I was laughing. I was like, this is funny. It makes me laugh because you've had those experiences, drugs and things like that, or you've had experiences
It's a fucking coat. You're like, no, not me, bro. It's like we've all been there, right? We've all been there.
We've all been there, right, Bot? I mean,
yeah.
It's why we party with y'all all that time. Party going good, music playing, and someone brings out some coke. Yo,
You said what?
man, I'm like, man, give my Hennessy back. I'm leaving. Give my Hennessy back. I'm leaving.
oh man.
Taking my Hennessy and going home.
Dark, you see where you started, Dark? I just want to throw it out there. You see.
I know. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, after seeing what I've seen of it, it looks like a fun game. It looks like it would be an interesting journey through a game that's really like, it reminds me, like, you know, K Mega said, it reminds me of those older games where you had these moments of like, what the fuck did they just say? Oh shit, did he just say what I think he said? And sometimes you go back and you listen to what he said. He didn't say that. Oh shit, you know, it's gonna be. I feel like it's one of those type of games where it's gonna kind of do that to you, which is good. I like that kind of stuff. I think people are, with this kind of stuff. I think they're too sensitive to this type of medium. You know, I think there's games and there's movies out there that are hilarious and entertaining, and just let it ride. You know, just let everybody ride the white dragon.
Wow. Chase that white rabbit. Ride the white horse. All that good shit.
All of it.
He said Tony Yayo. Yeah. Yo, real quick, shout out to Sir X-Man for hitting up that super chat. That is right, people. The super chat does indeed work. Try it out. Go ahead. But he says, if this game, High on Life, was on PlayStation, it would be praise. Now, bro, I mean,
I don't know if that's necessarily the case with something like this.
And I've seen some weird games being praised from PlayStation, though. I will say, dude, Stray was in Game of the Year contention. Put it that way.
Problem is, the real problem is that we live in a society where it's quote unquote, what do they call it, woke culture or something like that. Which, yeah, right. Which is right. Exactly. It's not something that even means. So, but that's what they like to call it, right? Is that, and it's like, no, that's not. No, that you know, most of us who grew up in the '90s, the '80s, and stuff like that, we don't get offended by this type of stuff because we grew up around this kind of stuff where you know, you weren't really playing video games in the 80s and I mean, you were, but you weren't like, you know, it wasn't like now where it's everywhere, you know. Back then we were outside, you know, doing stuff, and then all of a sudden, you know, you'd meet a friend who would be like, you know, that would be like, uh you know, that would say something really vulgar, and you'd be like, "What the fuck did he just say?" You know? Yeah, I figured you were that friend that was gonna say something vulgar, and everybody just start laughing. You know, then no one would take offense to it. No one would be like, "This is, you know, wrong. Why would you say this?" You know, kind of thing. It's just, I think people are just too sensitive to this stuff nowadays, and it's you can't be, man. You just can't.
You gotta be Generation X, is what it is, man.
Honestly, I don't even think you have to be necessarily Generation X, because I know people who are in my generation, which is, I hate to say it, but millennials. But there's a lot of millennial generation that actually agrees with the things that I say about certain things, as with our culture and the way that society is going and stuff. So yeah, I just think people are just way too sensitive and should just let things be what they want to be. Like things like this should just be a fun little thing that maybe it's not for everybody, but it's for the people who don't take offense to it and want to enjoy something like that.
I got you, bro. I got you. Well, on that note, people in the chat, let me know if you are playing High on Life and what you think about the game if you are playing it. If you're not playing it, why? If something like put you off about the game or whatnot? Now, I did see people. I put out a couple kind of like tips and suggestions about what if you're playing the game. I seen people talk about like the shooting, like feeling off or whatnot, and I wanted to let people know like what you're shooting is not guns, basically. Like so they're a little more floaty. They're not as quick as if you're like you're shooting a gun in Call of Duty or Halo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
not as
it's
immediate. It's not as
basically
quick.
like
It's
well, it's
floaty.
basically like Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath. It's like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good explanation, a good description right there. But yeah, it to me it's a lot of fun. Again, during the Xbox One era, Sunset Overdrive was like my favorite game. That generation, and that kind of has that same, almost that same type of humor and kind of like breaking the fourth wall and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I'm down with all that stuff. You don't need every game to be this heavy story driven kind of
Right.
like emotional.
Exactly.
Yeah,
An
emphasis on
emotional roller
heavy.
coaster. Not everything has to be that way.
Yeah, not everything has to be heavy. Like not every game
Mm.
is heavy. Not every once in a while you want to play checkers instead of chess. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's
Exactly.
that's the whole gaming kind of like mentality. And so far I think the game is really good. I'm not really far into it, but I will definitely beat this game. I have had a lot of fun so far. It will be in between my games as a service games where I have your to-do lists that you have to do every week and all that good stuff like NBA 2K and stuff like that. But this is definitely in my rotation, and I am having fun. I'm definitely having fun with the game. Another thing came out this week, and it's funny because like I knew the date when they announced the date for this next gen update, but then it kind of went under the radar for me, man. Like I didn't really realize it was the day where the next gen patch for Witcher 3 came out. And I gotta say a lot of people are saying a lot of good stuff about this update. Next gen, of course, ray tracing, you got better textures, ray trace global illumination. um, I went in very briefly and kind of checked it out, and one of the things that really struck me about this update, and of course, since I went in really quickly, I didn't get into like the meat of the gameplay and switching up the kind of like the different menus and to make it easier to play and stuff like that. I didn't get into all that, so uh, I will say graphically, I did get into the game, and I will say the environment now with the update, with the improved textures, the ray trace global illumination, the environment looks outstanding. I don't see too much of a difference when it comes to the characters though. Like they still look good, right? But I don't see too much of a difference in terms of like light bouncing off the skin or anything like that. But to me the characters kind of look the same, but the environment is just absolutely incredible. That's just my take on it. Dark, you said you have been
Mhm.
playing it. So
Mhm.
dude, what do you think about this next gen patch? Is it next gen and nothing? What do you think about the fact that a game this old is getting a patch to run like this with stuff like ray tracing and all that good stuff on these consoles now and for free, by the way, as well, which we got to let people know it's free.
Right. For me personally, man, I think this is fantastic. I think this is the best that The Witcher 3 has ever looked. I'm playing it on the performance mode where it's running at 60 frames per second. It is phenomenal. I know the whole ray tracing thing is cool for a lot of people, but for me personally, I'd rather play at 60 frames. And it looks still really good at the 60 frames, even in the environments and things like that. Um, it's definitely a eye popping game, even in the performance mode. I did check it out in the ray tracing mode. It looks really good in that. I mean, it definitely looks good. I mean, the faces and the faces and stuff like that on different characters don't look different. Don't look different from the Xbox One or the PS4 versions of the game. But I mean, they look a little different. They're a little bit more high res and things like that. They look a little bit, a little bit more, less, blurry. But they definitely improved the environments. The environments look amazing. Like especially like when you're in cities and things like that, everything looks and pops a lot more. Um, just with the resolution and the frame rates and stuff like that, everything just feels really good. I like the new control system where you can press the button and you can use Igni or Art or basically your magic. If you don't know what
Different
those are,
magic. Yeah,
that's your magic.
you can switch up.
I like that now. I like that they changed that around because before, when you were playing the game, you had to hold down the right or left bumper or L1 on PlayStation. Um, and now you just hit a button and then you can press the face buttons to do your magic, which is amazing. I love that. I think that's a huge improvement. I actually like the new camera angle that they have where it's kind of off to the side
It's kind of
and you're
God of
kind of
War
looking.
ish.
Yeah, kind of got that God of War ish, but of course it's better because it's fucking The Witcher. I'm just saying, like I know a lot of people love God of War, but The Witcher's just on another level, man. It just is. It's one of those games. Like I said earlier, you start playing it again, and it just sucks you right in because it's just so um, interactive. Like you're constantly doing something. You're constantly, finding something, that to do. You're finding like monster pits and bandit camps and you're just and everything looks
Oh,
great.
fuck the bandit camps. I remember that now.
The bandit camps and stuff like that. But then you also have the environment. The environment is has more trees. It has more shrubbery. It has everything more polished out in the environment. That's what really you take away from this is the environment. Um, you also you see a lot of like and it being at 60 FPS, it's like wow, man. Being able to play this game at 60 FPS, how did I even play this game at 30? But you did it because that's what you had at the time, right? Um, but yeah, with this one, they definitely did a really good job. I still have, I still have a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red. I know a lot of people have lost that faith with Cyberpunk 2077 coming out the way it is, but I think if they didn't have those last gen versions of the game, it probably would have been a better light for them. And and I don't dog them for coming out with the old versions of Cyberpunk, but they definitely they still have something special here with The Witcher. I know it's not working very well on PC, but what are you gonna do? I think honestly, I think this patch was more for the console gamers to see what it looked like on PC. Because I mean, it looks, dude. I can't say much more about it. It's amazing, man. It looks really good, and they did a good job, and I can't wait to see what CD Projekt Red does next.
Nice, definitely. And when it comes down to it, I know Cyberpunk caught a lot of flack, and I'll say a lot of it rightfully so, because when it was coming out,
Yeah.
it was a PS4,
You're right.
Xbox One game, and that's where like the majority of the problems were. So
Right.
people calling it out for those systems, I can definitely see. Yeah,
Right.
that made sense, but um, they're still the same developers. They still have the same talent and everything, and you can see that
Right.
they still know what they're doing. Which the future for this development studio is still on the upside, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
uh, I had a lot of fun with Cyberpunk. Shout out to RG Viper.
Same here, dude.
I absolutely love that game. I even made K Mega proud because I played that game and I love that game, and he was like, "Yeah, that's right. That's my homie Xbot right there." But
Well, the thing with Cyberpunk is that it once it got that next gen patch, it was all the gloves were off. As soon as I started playing it on with the next gen patch on the PS5, I was hooked, dude. Like there's something about CD Projekt Red where they just hook you with their games. They might not do it right away. It might not happen right away. It might take you a couple hours to get your bearings, but once you do, you are fucking hooked.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is, Dark? When it comes down to it, everybody, they always talk about the story, right? The story this, the story that. I think with CD Projekt Red, I think they are not only good at making a great story for a game, their world building is like second to none, in my opinion. Like the whole
Absolutely.
Witcher world, you got the whole Cyberpunk world. Like you really,
Absolutely, dude.
you get immersed in that in the world that they
You feel like you live in that world, right? Like when you
Exactly.
play their games, you feel like you're that character in that world, especially like with Cyberpunk. Like you get it with The Witcher, but of course you're Geralt. But once you're in like Cyberpunk's world and you're playing in that first person mode, you feel like you're that character.
Yes,
You
sir.
are walking the streets, fucking shooting up shit, gaining XP. You're just it's such an awesome game, and
They are
it's
really
sad
good,
that
really good at world building.
Yeah.
Man. Like that,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And again, when it comes to Witcher 3, I got it as a gift a few years ago. I tried playing it a couple times. I got through kind of like the first part, and then I did some. I think I went back to Destiny 2 or something like that. There was nothing that really kind of get me to like I really got to go in and beat this game. Especially, it's a little intimidating to hear how long some people have been playing the game as well. To be like, oh shit, I'm starting this, and like I'm gonna be here for like a year or whatnot. But I started playing it again, to see if maybe it'll hook me this time. That's a good thing about single player games. You get it. It might not be that time, but down the road, if you weren't into it right off in the beginning, down the road you might be like, yeah, no, I'm feeling this now, and
Right.
we'll see. Maybe I'll beat the game. But let's see. Let's get K Mega in on this. Mega. Now we know, Mega, you have absolutely no life. Witcher 3 at one point in time. There are people that wanted you to play other
Same here.
games. They wanted you to play other games. They're like, yo, come play Halo, come play this, come play. You're like, man, no, it's about that Witcher right now until I beat it.
You gotta say
Dude,
it the proper way that I say it.
The Witcher.
nah, I leave
Isn't that how
that
you
to you,
say it?
man. I'm not gonna butcher it.
With that high
I'm not-
pitch ass voice,
I'm
you
not
mean
gonna.
to tell me
I'm not
that you're
gonna butcher.
say
I'm not
the
gonna butcher that.
Witcher?
Do we need to get it higher pitched voice? I mean, do we need to cut off our balls
I'm saying
before we
it
can
good.
do it now?
Nah, I like my balls, bro. I like my balls.
I do too. So I don't
They're
know.
only the size of peas, man. They ain't really dropped yet with that high
Oh
pitch voice.
my
Oh,
goodness!
man.
Oh wow!
Here he
You
goes.
can't say the Witcher.
These are some of the biggest
Anyway.
peas I've ever seen in my life, bro. Now, have you jumped into Witcher 3 to see how?
Oh man, what I before you even finish, of course, man. What? That's the reason why I don't have Need for Speed Unbound. I said, get out
Yeah,
of here,
man.
you dirty old season. It's time for, you know what I'm saying? It's time for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I think Unbound is a cool ass racer, but it ain't the Witcher. Listen.
Yeah, man.
No. So and that was the only game that got me off of Midnight Suns because I was so giddy, like, oh, okay, I can't wait to see what it looks like, blah, 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 blah. So I get in there and you know, I look in, I'm seeing, okay, and then the download happens, it's fast, it's quick, it's delicious. I'm like, let's go, right? And then you get into that intro, and then everything that I remember just rushed me with the excitement of, oh my God, I forgot about right off the intro when it's just like, you know, as you clench your children to your breast, you see,
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
it's back, and then you see the cutscene,
Yeah,
all
man.
of that, and then you go right into seeing Yennefer's ass, and it's in high definition, and I'm like, oh yes, oh yes.
You're home, right? You're
Oh
home.
yeah, I'm home. I'm back home. I can't wait to get her ass back on that unicorn. Now this time I might change up, and I might change up and go back to Trish because she was a freak in the Witcher too.
She
Like,
was. Yeah,
let
she
me
was.
do any and everything to her in Witcher 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Trish because she was about that life. That redhead was.
What kind of game is this,
Jack.
bro?
You probably go to play Witcher 2. Like, see, they toned
Yeah,
it
Witcher
down in
2
Witcher
is
3.
phenomenal.
Witcher 3 is toned down, even though they have sex scenes and shit like that. Witcher 2, nah, bruh. Everything
Yeah.
you want, like dog.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Head pieces, everything. Don't.
Yeah.
I said, what? I said, we getting down like this in this game? Oh shit! And then I'm talking the story and everything. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, no, it's. I did have some pop in when I put the ray trace mode in when you first walk out and you see in the clouds when you're at the manor or whatever. And I was like, okay, but you know, then you know, you turn the VVR on and then it's gone, whatever. But like Dark said, it is beautiful, and then and that's what it is. Thank you for explaining it to me because I was like, why does the camera seem so close up? Like, you know, like
You can change that. You can actually go in the settings and change it and go back to the default.
okay, because
Yeah.
it's a little bit too close for me. I'm saying I wanted to go back, and so I'm over here thinking like a race car game, like you tapping the bumpers, like, man, what the hell? Why I can't go back? But yeah, no, the environment is absolutely beautiful. Like right when you go into the beginning and you're in the forest. I mean, you're with your companion. I forget the old dude's name. The old dude. I forget the old dude that's with you, but right in the very beginning.
Vesemir.
Vesemir.
Yeah.
And it's the sun because it's dusk and it's then the sunbeams, the god rays.
Yo, that shit look great.
Yeah, man.
And then you come out, and then the ghouls come out, and they all, you know, big, and they don't look as, because I remember they used to be kind of stringy and just, you know, like,
yeah, they look way better now.
They look way better. And I went so far to do the contract, to get the contract to kill the Griffin, and then I kind of was jumping around, and because I needed to get the combat skills back because it's been years. So I was like, you know what, I need to So I ran into the little cemetery, and there was some ghouls there. I mean, not ghouls, but yeah, I think they're ghouls. Those zombie those things that's at the
I think they're
graveyards all
called
the time.
ghouls. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
The wraiths?
Wraiths, that's what they are. And so I had to remember how to do that. And remember, they changed it in the first update 2 years later when the game came out. But you could tell that they redefined it even more to where you could cycle things a lot quicker. And maybe that's just because of the Series X or the PlayStation 5 as well. The consoles are much more beefier, and so it just feels much more fluid. But yeah, no, it's great. So I tried to play it a little bit with the 30 frames, with the ray tracing, which looked good. And you know me, I kind of don't care about 30 frames, 60 frames. It's according to, especially with single player games. But it does feel a lot better with the 60 frames on The Witcher. So so that's probably where my game is going to be at the 60 frames level. But it's going to be sad because I know that there's people going to want me to play other stuff. And I know I'll jump in with Dealer and you playing some 2K every once in a while. But brother, it's Midnight Suns of Witcher time, man. I'm in the zone.
You're hooked.
Dude,
You're hooked.
Yo, Mega,
You're hooked,
Mega,
man.
Mega, I gotta say, dude, you're giving me flashbacks of the first time you went through Witcher 3, and that kind of scares me because you say you'll play NBA, but I remember when you were first playing Witcher 3, like you were gone for months, bro.
Right,
like,
bro. I was gone for months. Like nobody, yeah. And poor Yobi. Yobi was looking for me. The Elden Ring, The Witcher is going to. It just takes me away even more because it's crazy to say, but I feel, and it's not that far off.
It's that world building, the stories, man.
Right. It's not that far off when it comes to size, but I still think The Witcher has it slightly. I still think The Witcher is still a bigger game because it's so much more compact with so many other things to do. In Elden Ring, things are spread out to where it's spread out enough to where you can just kind of gallop on, move on, and keep it moving. And The Witcher, it's so compact, even in those little areas. It's like there's so much shit to do, and it's just wow. So I don't know, man. And then of course you can swim. You can't do that in Elden Ring. Like you swim, go underwater, see whales and shit. Like, bro, it's nuts. So I'm looking forward to jumping back in again, man. I can't even lie.
Nice. Now, another veteran.
Yes, Trish is for the streets, bro.
She belongs to the streets.
Trish
is definitely for the streets. She definitely belongs to the streets, man.
Old dude lost his memory. The backstory, Geralt lost his memory. Tish was best friends with Yennefer, which is Geralt's old lady.
Yeah.
And once he didn't know his memory, she threw that ass on him, bro. Like I'm like, did. What? And when I say throw it at him, man, like bro.
She threw it across the room and he caught it.
She's like, you want to do what? To what hole? I got you.
Yeah, she's like, I'll let you do whatever you want. And he was all like, all right.
Wow. Well, hopefully we're getting a Witcher remake. Hopefully, down the line after they remake the original Witcher.
That'll explain a lot of the stuff that people missed from The Witcher 3 and Witcher 2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that they remake all of them. Yeah.
I hope they do too as well. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, it's not like
make this combat the same as you do with Witcher 3, so people can get familiar with it. Maybe tweak it a little bit because some people have problems with it. But you already got all the structure there. You already got the infrastructure with, Witcher 3. I mean, do what Insomniac does with Spider-Man, but they make newer, like, quote unquote games with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can just use the structure that you have with Witcher 3, and we know that they're doing the first one. They're remaking the first one, so why not?
I can't wait for that, man.
You don't need the full studio. You don't need the full studio for remakes either. You know what I'm saying? You could still be working on a new project and have a section off to the side working on a remake for the second one as well. Once
I would
once
love
they
it.
get the first one out, man. I
Two,
could
two,
definitely see
two,
that.
two is very underrated, man. Like a lot of people didn't play it back on the 360, but that's what got me connected with the franchise, and then it made me buy the first game, but I didn't play a lot of it because it was just mouse and keyboard only. But it looks really, really dated. But I tell you what,
It is. Yeah.
The Witcher 2 intro is still it's up there, one of the greatest intros of all time. It's up there, top 5 in my opinion.
For sure.
Intros, man, that intro was so damn cold, bro. I said, what?
Mhm.
Oh snap! Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Let's get Predin on this. Like I said, a veteran who has also, I believe, beat Witcher 3 as well. Because I remember the conversations back in the day. He's like, yeah, no, I finally beat it. Predin, I'm right. You beat Witcher 3, right?
Yeah, it took me fucking 2 years to do it. But yeah.
I remember the conversation, man. Like,
Yeah, man, I beat it. Yeah, the crazy part is I got all the DLC and I have not finished the DLC.
he's like,
I beat the main story. I beat the main story, and I was like, this. I don't have the time or patience. Like, I can go through, I can no life Assassin's Creeds. I just couldn't do it with Witcher, man. I was like, I just can't. And I think in the beginning, like the combat, I could not get used to the combat. And I think I ended up changing something with the control scheme, and I was like, okay, this is better, But like in the beginning, like that was a turnoff to me. And then once I did that and changed the control schemes up a little bit and started, getting like I would play it little by little by little, like a couple of days here, a couple of days there, and then finally I said, fuck it, let me just go ahead and beat this fucking main story because I think I got the DLC like super cheap. It was like $10 for all 3 of them. And I was like, I can't turn this down. Like, I gotta get this shit. And I was like, I'll never finish this game, but I'm gonna get the DLC anyway. And then maybe that like kind of get me into playing it again. But like, I think I played the first DLC that came out. I played a little bit of that one.
The vampire,
but that's
was
as
it the
far
vampire
as
one?
No, that's the one he played was Hearts of Stone.
Yeah, Hearts of Stone.
Yeah, the Hearts of Stone and what? Blood and Wine is the other one, right?
Blood and Wine is the vampire one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the vampire one.
I have not played this new version of it because you know me, I don't typically go back and play old games.
You're kind of scared now. You're like, nah.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, to me, it sounds like K Mega, like something you're starting over again from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not gonna happen with me, bro.
You said nah.
Beginning, like, let's go.
You said nah.
It's not happening. And you know what?
Why not, man?
I still have DLC I gotta beat, and there's probably
Yeah.
there's parts of the story that I probably didn't finish too, because I didn't say I rushed through it because I know I didn't do everything in it though. I did a lot. I did all the story stuff to finish the game, but I know there's a bunch of side quests I missed and stuff like that. So to me, like I don't need to go back.
Yo, Fred, they got new quests as well.
There's no reason for me to go back and start this game all over again because there's so much shit that I didn't finish when I played it the first goddamn time. So no, we're not doing that shit. And I feel bad because like at the time, I had a beefy PC at the time when I bought this game, and I feel bad I didn't buy it on. I don't even think the DLC is free on PC, is it?
I think it is. Yeah.
That would be my biggest regret because all the shit that you're getting now on Xbox was probably on PC any fucking way. 120 frames a second, type shit like that. But but I will say this: when I did play it on Xbox, that game was fucking beautiful back then. So I know it's 10 times better now. If they added ray tracing and all other shit to it in 60 frames, that game is probably.
Yo, Fred, not only that. Pred, I got to point out they did little extra things like that don't take a lot of development time, but add to the world like when you look out
the
in the
environments
distance
and stuff like that.
But when you look out, you'll see like smoke coming out in different parts of the forest or whatever. These are places that have people in it that have missions and stuff like that. Instead of like looking at your map. and kind of looking at an icon and hitting the icon, you can literally be like, I wonder what's going on over there with that kind of like fire going because you see the smoke or whatever, and you go over and you see what's going on there, and with the way Witcher 3 is like that's going to be a story in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? I like that type of stuff, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like those little small little changes like that, like it makes the game fresh and new to people who didn't like me, who didn't finish it or didn't play it before, and are going to get into it for the first time because they're like, well, fuck, now it feels like a extra super complete game, So like, I mean, if fucking Grand Theft Auto can release this motherfucker 15 times, I'm sure Witcher can do this shit too, and people will be okay with it. I liked it, and I love that it's free. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I love that it's free. Because like
No
at a
$10
time where
entry
I've
fee.
seen,
Great point.
yeah, I've seen people say, "Here's the $10 for this, you get this." Like they said, you know what? This is free. Like we've been working on this, and I always say this when I hear them doing stuff like this with the older game and like this, like you would think like, okay, everyone's played The Witcher, throw this shit in the fucking grave. Let's move on to something else. Right? They come out with some DLC for some shit, even and new missions and shit like that. And to me, I think that's just practice for them to work on something else. Like to like you guys are talking about like Witcher 1 and 2 or something like that coming out again. And this is just like, let's do 3 first, and then we'll come back and we'll do 2 and 1, and we'll do a bundle with that, whatever. So like this is just good practice for them to get used to the tools and stuff like that. And I could probably see them doing them using Unreal. Was it 5? The new one's coming out?
Yeah.
With Witcher 2, and then changing the mechanics and stuff like that. Because they're doing this with 3, they can go back and do 2
Freaking
and
amazing.
to put it and then like put it on PC
Yeah,
and do
with
it.
what
Like,
we've
yeah,
seen
everything.
from Unreal 5.1 so far, oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be insane, dude.
And so I mean, like, and or again, practice for something else you're making. Think about what they got coming down the pipe too. So like let's get these new employees we just bought and got hired on this team to work on these new tools that we're going to use. Well, you have them practice on Witcher 3, and then they can get some experience fucking around with something that's already built and just tweaking it, and then they can see what they're capable of doing and learn the tools and assets and stuff like that. And then this new game we got coming out, whatever the fuck that's going to be, they will know how to use those tools for this new game. And that's how I look at it when I see these people doing remakes like this, where it's not just like let me just put a new skin on it. Like they changed a whole bunch of shit in this game. So I don't know if I'll jump back in it, but we'll see.
Craig, you want to hear
What's up?
something cool? And it's something that when K Mega was talking, he was talking about the wolves, and the wolves kind of like they don't look scrawny anymore. They're big, beefy, kind of like. One of the cool things is that there were a couple of modders on the PC side that made mods for certain creatures to make them look better.
That's what they use, dude.
That's what they
that.
used, and then they
Yeah,
also
they used the
hired
mods.
they hired the modders to
Come in
the
and do this
studio as well.
Yeah.
Like that's cool right there. So like when you first meet up with the grizzly bear, you fight the grizzly bear in the forest and stuff like that. The grizzly bear looks more realistic now. The wolves, like K Mega said. So there's a bunch of creatures out there. Maybe not I don't know if it's the mainline, like kind of like boss type creatures or the smaller ones, but a bunch of kind of like new creatures. Like
the big mainline griffin looks different. So I'm guessing that the mainline creatures that you fight, like big baddies, look different too, because the griffin does look different. It looks better.
Yeah, that it's going to creep me out going around looking for vampires or them ghouls and caves and shit like that. Like, but I'm with it though. I'm with it.
But I thought it was cool that they saw the talent from the modders, and instead of trying just to do their own thing, they're like, you know what, we'll hire you on, and we're gonna use your mods in our patch for the game. Like I thought that was awesome, man. And I gotta say, like everything, especially the way the world looks, like this looking on the outside, not having the controller in my hand right now, like, and I thought about this all the way through, kind of like the life of Witcher 3. There's so much to this game that it's like, man, that really caters to me. Now, even like I said, with the little touches, like to really get immersed in the world, you don't have to like click an icon on a map or anything. You can actually look out in the world and you look out for like the smokestacks coming out, and you be like, you know what, I'm gonna go over there and see what's over there, and kind of really, play, live in that world. I really dig what they're doing with this, man. It's not just upgrading graphics and stuff, but they put a lot into improving things and such, and adding to the immersion to the game. So shout out to CD Projekt Red for that, but shout out to Sir X-Man for hitting up that super chat. And we were talking about CD Projekt Red and how they're a world builder. Sir X-Man in the super chat says Dark's mom is a world builder. Dude, what is
shit.
up with your
Oh,
mom?
man.
Dude, what is up with your mom? Like,
That's so fucked up.
I don't know.
he's like, yeah, I deal with this in other places. I'm gonna deal with it here now too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bunch of grown ass men. I don't know. They're just grown ass men, just being children,
bitches.
being bitches. Yeah, being bitches.
being high on life fans.
Bitches.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have praised that game. Maybe I should have said, you know what? Fuck it. It's on Xbox. It's a fucking piece of shit. That's what I should have said. Just because of what he said, I should have said that.
Yeah, but
Isn't it on PlayStation as well?
No, it's not on
Dark,
PlayStation.
Dark,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to say you might as well tell the truth about like Xbox games now if you like them. Might as well, because at the end of the day, Starfield's gonna come out in 2023, and if you back yourself into a corner and say every single game that comes out on Game Pass and on Xbox, and it's trash and stuff, you're gonna back yourself into a corner when Starfield comes out, and you're not gonna be able to say how much you love that game. So I think you just be honest. That's all you got to do, bro. Just be honest, and you'll be all right. But
Yeah.
talk about being honest, man. As we all know, there's this soap opera going on in the game industry known as the ABK acquisition. And of course, this acquisition is getting some pushback from the FTC, from the CMA. There's so many initials, man. I don't even know anymore. But they're getting pushback from regulators and such. And a bit of information came out that I was actually really, really surprised about, because within the whole 10-year kind of like guarantee for Call of Duty to be on PlayStation, when the Activision deal goes through, it has come out within the last few days that within that was also an offer, for the availability of Call of Duty to go on PlayStation Plus. For people who don't know, PlayStation Plus is the subscription service for PlayStation. And when I looked at this deal and everybody talking about Call of Duty, I thought one of the biggest reasons why, at least in terms of the Call of Duty thing, because we're talking about multiple studios, we're talking about multiple IPs here, all that good stuff. But when it comes to Call of Duty, I thought the big kind of like the golden egg was, Call of Duty being in Game Pass, kind of like the only subscription service that Call of Duty is in type situation. Marketing Call of Duty that way with Game Pass and stuff, and still having it on multiple platforms and all that good stuff. But really, when you're talking about Xbox and Call of Duty, Game Pass would be in there. Like, that would be the marketing. That would be where they were hitting home with consumers, with gamers out there. So I was really shocked when I heard that 10-year deal actually had an offer for the availability. Now, when I say that, it's the offer to kind of like come to the table and discuss payment as well when it comes down to it. Some payment going back and forth, kind of get the monetary situation straightened out. It's not just like, okay, yeah, you can just have it on PlayStation Plus. No, there would be some type of, compensation here or whatnot. But I'm still, it was really surprising to me that they added that in there, by me thinking that, when it came to Call of Duty, the main thing would be Call of Duty on Game Pass and market the shit out of that, and get a lot of Call of Duty players over into the Xbox platform, whether it's PC, whether it's console, whether it's streaming through the cloud. Let's go with Predator on this one. Pred, dude, what was your thoughts when you heard that Microsoft actually offered, to kind of like negotiate for Call of Duty to be on PlayStation Plus? I never thought that would be on the table as a bargaining chip, man. What was your thought there? And what was your thought that Sony didn't even really step up to the table at all for that, bro?
I think Sony is in the mindset that this deal is not going to go through, and that's why they didn't even entertain it. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're like, this deal's not going to go through. I think they think their position is to basically sabotage this deal to the point where it doesn't even go through at all. Because if they were, imagine this, right? Imagine the deal does go through, right? When or if it does, we can get positive or negative. You want to be about it going through or not going through. But imagine this deal does go through, how Microsoft is going to react towards Sony after it goes through, after all the shit that Sony just put them through to get the deal done.
They're not going to do anything to them, man. I can almost guarantee
that. No, they don't. Look at it this way: if Microsoft right now is offering them the things that they're worried about, concerned about, getting the game on the, and Sony saying no, do you think they have to offer that to them after the deal closes? If they've been saying no this whole time?
Maybe if the regulatory bodies,
unless the regulatory people say
that
they can
that's what they want as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they may have to abide by that after the deal goes through because of what the regulatory commissions say they have to do. However, if they don't say anything at all, because that's also a possibility too, they can just sign it and say, okay, well, you did your due diligence. You offered this to this company who's complaining about it, the one person that's complaining about it. You offered them options and they chose not to take them. You don't got to offer them shit at this point. And they go ahead and proceed with the deal as is, the way it was originally drawn up, right? Sony's left out in the fucking cold. They get nothing from Call of Duty when they was getting things offered to them in the first place. So you have to look at it from both spectrums. And then you have to also say, okay, if this deal does not go through at all because of Sony, and I said this, I mentioned this last time we talked about this, I don't think Microsoft is going to play nice with them anymore. They're not, because if you see the tone they've set in the past month or so, they're speaking up now about the shit. They're not playing like, I mean, this is coming from Satala down to to Phil, and people in between are like, they're starting to be more vocal about how disappointed they are, or not disappointed, but they're being more aggressive in their stance towards Sony's blockage of this. And they're doing it not just like, they're not being subtle about it either. They're speaking their mind on social media and other places, business meetings, MSN, Yahoo, Finance. Like, they're talking about this openly about, and they're being really aggressive the way they're talking to Sony in I guess, a not subliminal way, if that makes any sense. So, like, I don't think they're happy with the way things are happening with Sony and how Sony's pushing back on this at this point. And I think if this deal doesn't go through, Sony's gonna have a real fucking problem outside of that. And I think they should have just taken. I think they should have said, okay, we're cool with that, and take what they can get out of it.
Pred, because I also look at it as, if the deal does go through as well, Sony's in trouble there as well when it comes down to it. Because you got to remember, when it comes to Sony and as a corporation, its backbone, where it gets its money from, is
PlayStation.
PlayStation. So like,
Okay.
if they
I already know where you're gonna go with this, and this is my issue.
Go ahead.
They were given an option to at least keep, because they've been complaining about Call of Duty. Microsoft given an option to negotiate keeping Call of Duty on their profile, on their platform. They were given an option. They were brought to the negotiation table to discuss keeping that game on there for 10 years, putting it in PlayStation Plus, etc. Microsoft's trying to work with them about their concerns. At some point, they're not going to work with them about their concerns anymore. So no matter how fucking nice you think Microsoft is, at some point they're going to be like, look, bitch, we tried to take you on a date. You said no. And so, we're in bed with Steam. We're in bed with Nintendo. We got it on their systems. They didn't fucking say shit. You're the only ones talking shit. So now that the deal's gone through, why the fuck are we gonna come let you get this game now when we gave you an option before? Now, if they want that money, they'll put it on there. They probably want that money at some point, because I think it's a bad business decision to not put it on PlayStation. And I think that's PlayStation. I think that's what Sony's angle is. Like, you want this on our system to make your money back, that type deal. 10 years. I mean, how many games did they come out with Call of Duty? And how many games are going to come out in 10 years for Call of Duty? 10.
Well,
because they come out with one a year. So
I know, but if they get acquired by Xbox, they said that the whole every year kind of dropping a Call of Duty thing, they're going to change that though.
Possibly, we don't know that, but I mean, okay, let's say 10 years they release 5 games, right? A game every 2 years, right? Let's cut it in half. Let's say they go that route. This deal can still be renegotiated after 10 years. They can say, okay, 10 years is up. Y'all still want this on your platform? They're like, and Sony can be like, you know what? Yeah, we're good. Let's put it on here again. We'll give you whatever the fuck you want. Here's another, X millions of dollars. Put it on our yeah, we'll take it for another 10 years, right? So they can renegotiate that again after 10 years, just like any other, like with the NFL contracts or anything like that. By saying no now, they're basically ruining every chance they're going to get for any kind of negotiations going forward, because they're acting like donkeys right now and not even taking a deal that's put on the table for them. And/or here's the kicker. And/or they're not even coming back with an offer back. Like, let's say they're not happy.
They don't want the deal done at all, bro. Like,
they don't want the deal done at all. That's what I'm saying. And so they could negotiate for 10 years and then renegotiate after 10 years and take the deal they got on the table now, or not get one at all. Or they say, you know what? We're not happy with 10 years. Give us 15.
Damn.
Sony can come back and they can counteroffer this shit, but they're not even doing that. They're just like, nope, we're good. They just don't want this to go through, and it's gonna come back, and like how they're acting right now, it seems like it's fun and games right now, but at some point it's gonna bite them in the ass in the long run. I don't know what it's gonna. I don't know. Like, again, if the deal goes through, doesn't go through, Sony's gonna come out with their hand in their fucking butthole because of this shit, because they could have easily just taken this deal and let the shit ride through.
Yeah,
so, and I don't think Microsoft's gonna play nice after this shit with them at all.
At the end of the day, right? Like, some of the shit that Sony says we know is absolutely crazy when it comes to this. But I've always been, I've been saying this ever since Sony started pushing back on this. Like, they are doing their job, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes and no, because the thing is, they're not saying what they want. They're saying what they don't want to happen. But they're not coming to the table saying, okay, if this deal is going to go through, this is what we need out of it, and negotiate with Microsoft from that angle. They're just coming at them with the angle like, we don't want you guys to have them, so we're going to just block everything. We don't want you to have shit. We're gonna say no to everything. We're not even gonna come to the table with some terms that make sense. They just don't. They don't want to come to the table at all. They're not negotiating at all with Microsoft on this aspect at all. They're going to the European people. They're going to all these other countries to block the deal completely from happening. But they've never come to the table and said, well, this is what we want from Microsoft in order for this deal to go through. Because I think I heard rumors about them saying they just didn't want it on Game Pass. I thought I heard that rumor somewhere. They just didn't want Call of Duty on Game Pass.
That's not a rumor.
Yeah, and so like, and Microsoft's like, no, you can't dictate what we do with our company when it comes to Game Pass. But we'll put it on PlayStation Plus for you.
Well, PlayStation even came out in a statement and said, when it comes down to it, even if they don't take Call of Duty off the PlayStation platform, it being on Game Pass is equally bad for them, basically, that they don't want it on Game Pass, and I think that was the main thing, when it came to this argument. And then you see, Microsoft came out, and I feel like when it comes down to it, I feel like they offer too much when it came to that. 10 years with the availability, to get the game on PlayStation Plus as well. I feel like that was. I'm trying to think of, unless they really feel like King and the mobile is a huge thing for them, in terms of revenue and stuff like that, which it absolutely is. But I did not expect them to throw everything in there, including the option to get Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus. I think that's too much. I think they're offering too much, bro.
That's, to be honest with you, I think that's a great deal for Sony. Taking that, like, keep in mind, because like obviously one of the biggest games out there is Call of Duty, but like there's so many other games under the envelope, or the umbrella, not envelope, the umbrella of ABK that will never go to Sony now. Never.
But they don't even argue about any of that. But they don't
argue about any of those games. It's just Call of Duty. So like, I think so. Microsoft is like, okay, you can have. Because you know how much money they're going to make back off of that for being on Sony?
Yeah.
They'll make their money back in the 10 years, just off of that one game. So, like, they're okay with that one. Like, they Sony came in and be like, okay, we can't put... If they came back and complained about all the other games or several of the other blockbusters that they have and complain about those, then I can see where you're coming from saying that's too much. But it's just Call of Duty. And Microsoft ain't stupid, because they know how many PlayStations are out there in the fucking wild. And they know how much money they're going to make off of this game going on PlayStation. These motherfuckers paying this shit $70. And we're over here paying just Game Pass fees for it. You know what I'm saying? So like, and/or the money they're going to make off of the free-to-play as well. They're going to make back. I mean, they can just they can just get this deal just for Call of Duty. All the other games don't fucking matter to them. They just bought just Call of Duty and they put it on every platform. I think Microsoft would be perfectly okay with that too. Because I think they'll make their money back on just from Call of Duty. They'll make their money back within 5 years. They spent on this shit easily.
Yeah, but then
depending
you
on
look at everything. You look at everything else that they're trying to acquire, especially King with Candy Crush and Overwatch 2 with that whole thing with Blizzard. Diablo, the Diablo 4 trailer,
Diablo 4,
blew the fuck up when it was shown. Like, people were like, "Oh damn!"
I'm not saying they're not going to make money off of those games as well, but Sony,
they'll get their money back quick, bro.
Yeah, I think with Microsoft, like with them having Call of Duty on PlayStation, and maybe like Elder Scrolls Online, like they're gonna make their money off all these deals they made just from having those multi-plats on the other consoles. It's going forward after that, the games that are gonna come out after that, they're gonna start kind of reaping in some other profits too. But like, I think that the shady practices of Sony going on right now, trying to block this, are eventually going to bite them in the ass, because they're ruining the relationship that they have with Sony, with Microsoft. A little bit of like friendships they have there, and like the niceties that Microsoft has had with Sony over the past couple of years has gotten strained because of the way Sony's acting now. And be honest, we've all seen everybody in the Microsoft camp in social media kind of come out and throw little jabs at Sony for this in their own roundabout
Dude,
little
there's
way.
people writing to like the FTC saying how this, like, people in the industry, there was something, it wasn't named as to the company that sent it in, but was saying how, let this go through. You know what I'm saying? It promotes competition. I think the two top unions in the United States are backing Microsoft, saying that
One is in the United States. The other one is international.
international. So you have really big unions as well, kind of like backing this up. Like what it does, it promotes competition, especially when it comes to subscription services, because we all know, like, the main goal for Call of Duty is to put it into Game Pass. I think we can all say that, and I think when it comes down to it, Sony doesn't necessarily want mainstream competition to go that way. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. And they're typical of them fighting the movement of going forward, like they've always done, fighting against it,
again, that whole, it's a double-edged sword moving forward. If you move forward in that direction, because if that becomes a mainstream, yes, you do not own your games. So you're signing an agreement. When it comes down to it, and in the agreement, it states that they can add in and take away whenever they feel like it. When it
Game
comes
Pass.
to these games, yeah.
From Game Pass, just like Netflix does. It's like every other subscription service does. So it's not a new concept. However, Sony in particular are the ones fighting against this. That's something that every media outlet is doing now when it comes to music and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. The only division of entertainment that's not doing it is video games. And again, like I was about to say, like Sony's always fighting against movement forward. I mean, like every if you think about it, every time there's been a new movement, Sony's been against it. Whether it's
unless
crossplay,
it's technology that Sony like has their like hooks into. Because when it came to, like, you remember when 3D TVs were supposed to be the thing moving forward, like Sony embraced that for games and stuff like that, and then like that didn't go anywhere. But Sony, they had a hook into that new technology. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have a hook
Microsoft is giving them payback for the HD DVD thing. That's all this is.
I almost got one of those for the 360 as well.
We created this shit. I remember those things, man. When they made, I think it's Blu-ray, like the main thing or whatever, and when they had the HD, was it HD whatever, and then
HD
Blu-ray.
DVR. I mean, HD DVD or something like that.
Yeah, HD DVD versus whatever Blu-ray was going to be, right? And then Blu-ray kind of won that battle.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing those things in the store, and they were like $20. I lost so fucking much money on that shit, and then the Red Ring happened around the same time too. So it's like, fuck, like, and I think Microsoft's like, y'all got us in that one. We can get y'all bitches on this shit right here. Like, we can get y'all back for that shit. But
we got the technology for this time moving forward.
I mean, I think the deal will eventually go through, but I think the FTC right now is just going through the motions because they're supposed to, and just kind of like question it because the European side is doing it, but it won't pass because all they're going to do is go up there and appeal. And the courts and they're going to be like, this is stupid. Let it go through, and it's going to go through in the U.S. side. And the only people we have to worry about, and I don't know what the options are outside of them. Let's say the European side blocks it. Let's say they actually go through and block it, right? I don't know if that's going to stop them from doing this. I don't know if that's even possible. I mean, I don't know the rules of that.
I think they are one of the regulatory commissions that like have to pass it. There's like a few that absolutely have to when it comes down to it.
Because the courts out there, if they don't pass it, the courts are not lenient at all. They'll always
the appeal process is bullshit over there.
The appeal process is 90%.
I don't think anybody has ever and the CMA has ever actually appealed and won. But I don't think those companies that actually try to appeal are willing to go to battle with that country to get it passed to that point. That makes sense. Like they're not, they don't have like the financial backing or or like, I don't know if they just really tried. Like if every fucking body in the world says yes to this, and they're the only motherfucker to say no, what's Microsoft going to do at that point? And that's the question of the hour right there.
That's a great point, man, and that's something I haven't really thought of. I haven't really digged in to see what the kind of like the laws were with that, but I did hear that there are certain committees that have to. But you bring up a great point in terms of everybody else passing it, but yet CMA doesn't. Shout out to Sir X-Man real quick, hitting up that super chat. He says, just find a Karen to go to the FTC to fix everything. Now, brother, when has a Karen fixed anything? Let's be real. I mean, they do cause a scene. They cause a ruckus, right?
You don't know what the Karens get away with behind the scenes that we don't know about.
but when do they
might do some Trish stuff. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
And shout out to RG Viper, who has been a member for over a year now, 13 months. Viper has been with us. Thank you so much for the support, brother. He says, Microsoft is going to be petty after all of this. Sony won't be able to acquire any more studios because Microsoft will stop everything Sony does. Now,
they would deserve it too.
That's an Xbox fanboy statement right there.
They can't block everything.
That's not a serious statement. That's not a serious statement. That's just a fanboy statement.
A blanket ass. I mean, but would they be wrong if they did it though?
No, they wouldn't be wrong if they did that. But they're not. I don't think they're able to.
They can't stop every deal because it has to be under a dollar threshold. I mean,
there has to be
$1 billion or more. It's $1 billion or more that gets these regulators involved. Anything under
under that they can't do anything. They can't do anything at all.
Right.
So, that's the thing is that that statement is just coming from somebody who's pissed off about the acquisition. That's just what it sounds like.
Dark. One thing I can't. This is one of the things I can't stand when I hear this. Or people are like, and it's not anything that Viper said. But people will say that Microsoft should be petty, and if this deal doesn't go through, pull Minecraft from PlayStation. I'm like, dude, like when it comes to that, you're hurting Minecraft fans when you do that.
You're thinking with your heart instead of your actual mind. That's what you're thinking.
Well, the thing is, you're fucking with Minecraft fans at that point in time.
Too.
You already put the game on the platform. You already stated that you are going to support it throughout, right? So being petty and pulling it from the platform, that does Microsoft and Xbox no good whatsoever. When you look at mindshare, when you look at like being looked at in a positive light within the industry, even in revenue as well, because you got these Minecraft fans that are going in, they're buying like texture packs, stuff like that, all that stuff, and they're playing it on PlayStation. You take it off of there, and now you lost customers as well. Because you think they're going to be like, oh, well, since it's not on here anymore, I'm just going to move over to Xbox. They're going to be like, fuck you, Xbox. You pulled the game. I'm not going to buy your system. I'm not going to play it on PC. I'm not going to stream it through the cloud. Yeah, I'm done with you. Like, right. So that would not be a good move to do something like that, man. I'm just saying, like, people are talking about what Microsoft could do to get even, and it's
don't be surprised though, because like some people talk that shit, but then let them come out a new Minecraft game,
right?
And they'll be like, because like we do this shit every year with fucking Call of Duty. I ain't buying this shit this year. That game's bullshit and trash. Fuck that. I ain't buying it.
So
I can't. And then you know what happens? It's the best fucking selling game of the fucking year. So like, don't sit there and underestimate the fucking power of the dumbasses out there changing their fucking mind. If they change their mind to go to PlayStation, they'll play their mind to come right back to Xbox if there's a game on it they really want to play. We'll find out when Starfield comes out.
Oh yeah,
Starfield,
for sure. Yeah.
Starfield gonna be crazy, bro. Starfield gonna be crazy.
Everybody
Bro.
talking shit will be the best selling game of the year because everybody's gonna buy it on Xbox and play and PC, and they're like, and all these motherfuckers that can't get it will go there because like people are buying PlayStation 5s for God of War. There's things that they're called system sellers. So if they really want a game bad enough, they'll buy the console or buy a PC or buy it on their PC or whatever they supposedly have and buy it. So like it'll happen.
I don't know, man.
Everybody talks shit about Halo. Halo sucks. And how the heck Halo's numbers do?
Yeah, but then they showed all that shit about season 3, and people are like, "Oh, I guess I'll be playing something like when that shit comes out." You know what I'm saying?
But they initially bought the game when it came out. Same with Forza, same with Halo, same with Gears. It happens every fucking year. These same motherfuckers talking shit about a game. I'll be the same motherfuckers buying it when it comes out. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dark, what do you think about the offer that Microsoft put out there for Sony? And of course, you know, like I was shocked when I heard that PlayStation Plus was also in that offer. I got to ask you, man, were you shocked or like what were your thoughts when you heard exactly what they kind of put on the table there, man?
I wasn't shocked. Uh, to me, it seems like it's just something to get PlayStation to kind of budge a little bit. But it looks like PlayStation's not going to budge at all. Um, they just they don't want this deal to go through. They don't want it to happen. On their end, which is kind of understandable to be honest, to not want something like this to go through. For the simple fact that it's kind of something that would or could potentially make them be like or make people be like, why am I playing on PlayStation? If I can just get the game on Xbox and just play it on Xbox, I'll just go. It's really what it is the casual market. You know, um, kind of doing this dealing with this because of the fact that the casual market is the one who plays Call of Duty the most, right? Like they're the ones who buy it like on a constant basis. I mean, we do too, but it's more of the casual market who really play this game because it's the only game that they play the year, throughout the year. So it and Microsoft is doing what they can to make this happen. They want it to happen. They're doing whatever they can to make it happen. They're doing they're offering Sony these deals and things like that. I mean, I know I've heard some people say it makes them look desperate. It makes them look like this. It makes them look like that. I don't necessarily think it makes them look desperate. I think it makes them look like, well, we're giving them a chance to be a part of this, and Sony doesn't want to do it. So, I think in terms of, you know, Xbox doing any more deals after this, they shouldn't. I don't think they should. I think they should just say, you know what? Since you guys didn't take the 10 years, you didn't take this letting us put it on or letting you guys put it on PlayStation Plus. We're not going to give you guys any more deals. We're just going to see what happens in the courts with the FTC and then, move on from there. Um, right. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I could give fucking two shits about this deal at this point. You know, like we've heard so much about it, we've seen so much about it. It's constantly in the news. It's constantly going. I understand that people want to talk about it because there's always something new that's coming from it. At this point, I'm fed up with it. I just don't care anymore. I think in the beginning I kind of cared a little bit. I was like, oh, that would be that's kind of interesting to see where that would go. But then now that it's been a year almost, it's just like, okay, all right, I'm just done. I can't do it anymore. I can't listen to the same shit over and over and over.
We've definitely been dealing with this for a while.
Yeah,
But yeah, I gotta
it
say,
is.
the twists and turns are kind of interesting in this. Although, like to see
Yeah,
kind of
they've
like
been
PlayStation's
interesting.
response and kind of catch people off guard and like the whole thing, all the twists and turns has been really crazy, man. But I don't know. We
Yeah,
got
it's
to
been it's
go
been
ahead.
crazy. It's just I think that um I think Xbox is just trying to do whatever they can to make sure that this deal goes through, and that's understandable. That's their model to do that. And I think PlayStation's doing whatever they can to stop it because they are, um, they're the competitor. They don't want this to go through, and I don't blame them. Why would you want Xbox to own your competitor to own something that you know have had on your console for so long? It's understandable coming from both sides. I mean, yeah, both sides kind of make it seem like they're desperate, and both sides make it seem like they're losing here. And I don't. I think it's just to get sympathy from the gamers, and not necessarily do we need to give them sympathy for this. It's just it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well. If it does, and PlayStation doesn't get Call of Duty anymore, oh fucking well, dude. Does does it bother me that Call of Duty's not on PlayStation? It doesn't. Because I can go and play it on Xbox, or I can play it on PC or whatever. It's not going to change anything for me at all.
All right. I got you, bro. I got you. Let's get K Mega in here before he's kind of like the last on our main topic, and then we can wind it down. So Mega, you heard me, man. I was shocked that they even threw PlayStation Plus in on kind of like this concession that they threw out there. Because like I felt like, yeah, they'll keep Call of Duty out there. You can buy it $70. PlayStation, Microsoft gets money. PlayStation gets revenue as well. Microtransactions, all that good stuff. But to also offer it for PlayStation Plus, when I thought the main thing with Call of Duty was promoting Game Pass and having it there, it really caught me by surprise, man. I got to ask you, dude, how did you feel when you heard exactly what they put into this agreement as kind of like a concession for PlayStation, who's having all these problems, all these issues with this possible acquisition?
Smart. And
You didn't think it was
listen,
too much?
oh no, I thought it was too much, but it's smart. See, this is the thing that like a lot of people they're putting their heart on their sleeve and they have these emotions. Now listen, I want the deal to go through as an Xbox game, not only for the fact of having Xbox now getting to the point of what me and King David and others has been saying, that this is that this is the generation where Xbox could catapult over PlayStation. But it's the fact of just the even playing field, because COD has so much leverage, and it's beyond COD. It's everything else that goes with Activision. See, like it's what Pred was saying, like everything else that's coming with there, like they can make that money. Forget 5 years, they can get that money back in 2 years.
Mm.
Like what I'm saying, because if they come out with another hot COD like this one, right, like this last COD, that's gonna rake. You got King that's gonna do what they do. You have, like you said,
Overwatch?
DLC, Overwatch. You have DLC for that. You have Warcraft. You have all that stuff from Blizzard. You got
Yeah, a lot of
Diablo
games as a
Immortals.
service
Yeah,
under ABK.
just tons. Like, I mean, it's one of the oldest companies out there next to Namco Bandai. To me, and this is the thing. Like, I mean, I might do one more video before I'm kind of shut it down. Just kind of this whole like I say about doom and gloom. Everything is just it's all bad. It's all bad. This is too much. This is business. Sony is playing a scorched earth approach. I've said this. They're playing for keeps. They're not trying to win anything. I mean, they're going all in. They got the whole deck and they're putting all the chips in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're at. When you have a deal like that, and knowing if you play nice and coy, Microsoft would play nice and coy back, and then you could also renew that contract. But Sony is looking at Microsoft from maybe 2 or 3 different perspectives. One, will Phil still be around in 10 years? Who will be their successor? Most likely we're looking at maybe Sarah Bond. Is Sarah Bond going to be a different type of of a person that leads? Yeah, like, is she going to be more aggressive because she's going to be like the first woman having that type of role, and she might not be no nonsense. And and if she's not the other one, let's say it's Mikey Barra or somebody after this deal goes through. Mikey Barra doesn't seem like to be a guy that's going to be that's not a pushover. So we don't know. But regardless, the thing to me is Sony should have took the deal and maybe asked for more. And then that gave them plenty of time to work on them getting their games for service out, them getting PlayStation Plus in order to compete, having a lot of their games out there in the wild on PC, and then kind of formulating a plan. If they didn't want to work with Azure anymore, they could go with Amazon, work with Verizon, whoever, and then try to go that way, or try to start something from scratch on their own. That 10 to 15 years would have been perfect for them to make the point. But Sony is just they've been entitled to getting their way for decades, and now they're having some pushback, and they don't want to do the work. Seem like anymore, because they know that if they got to do the work, they got to pay to get the work done and get it done right. And Sony is a talented company. They can do fantastic things. You know what I'm saying? They haven't, you don't stay in business that long without being smart, but they just don't seem like they want to put in the work and the effort of trying to change what their model has been for all these years to this new model that Microsoft is kind of pretty much established and kind of forced down our throat. When, remember, in 2013, nobody was buying it. Now everybody's buying. Everybody's all in with digital. Everybody's all in with cloud computing. Everybody, I can't say everybody's not, but most people, and especially by the time that we're a lot older, and the millennials is older, and then we got the kids that's kind of around getting up in our age, and then you got whatever that generation is going to be, cloud, mobile, on the go gaming. That's going to be the norm. That's already setting up to be the norm. The console, I think, as the years go by, the less and less we'll see consoles sell at a high rate. I don't think we'll ever see what the PlayStation 2 done, or what I think maybe the max that we could probably get to see is maybe 90 to 100,000 100 million at max. But going over that, I don't see it anymore. I think the
PlayStation 4 did it. You said that's it? That's it right there?
I'm saying the numbers of what the PlayStation 2 did, which was crazy. And yeah, so I'm thinking, like, even with the PlayStation 4, I think those numbers are going to go down all across the board. Nintendo will still probably be relevant, but Nintendo is not looked at as a console from some of you guys. It's like a hybrid. So it could still flourish. But as consoles as we see it, it seems like they're not going to die, but they're not. I'm looking at them like the record. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that there's people in here like, no, that's crazy, man. Just look and see what you're seeing with technology and how things is being moved going across the board. With all that being said, though, I think that it's Microsoft's case. I'm still at a 90%, 10% that is not going to happen because of the fact of, and this things has been moving and shaking every day. Like yesterday, it was looking bad for Microsoft, like because I forgot what it actually was because there's been so much stuff that's been spewing out here like damn near every day. But the offer that came out where they got everybody pissed off about, that's goodwill. You know, that goes a long way, believe it or not. Now you got the unions. That's massive. That is massive. And your boy Brap, I don't know what bro be on, man. Like,
hold on, my boy.
well, I'm just saying.
No, that's
Brap
Dark's.
Who?
That's Dark's homie.
No,
That's Dark's homie right there.
I said,
don't put me in the middle of that.
I'm just gonna read this one point from what bro said, man. And I understand you want to use big words, you want to sound intellectual, you want to sit there, but bro, okay, so I'll read what my point said. Like, you know, he was saying how was it a win, and I said maybe you need to look at what happened in Nevada in the past election when the winner had the unions backing them. It says this is very favorable for Microsoft to have the biggest unions backing this deal. Then he says back to me, he says running for office elections is not the same. It's not the same as regulatory litigation. I almost threw my, well, I have a controller in my hand. I had a bottle of water. Almost threw my bottle of water at my computer screen. Like, what? Okay, so let me read that again. What he said. He says running for office elections is not the same as regulatory litigation. That should be obvious. Each has its own set of nuisances. He said, which cannot be bypassed for the sake of pushing unquantifiable claim. Bro,
you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? He didn't give any example of how we're different at all. He just said that they're different and threw a bunch of like bigger words in there.
Big words to seem like somebody who's not
like
articulate.
He didn't even give any examples or anything of why they're different.
Bro, I may be
he's talking about nuances,
and I may not can say people's names right.
Any nuances,
but I am not a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you didn't say shit, but just throw big words. And the first part right there just shows that you don't pay attention to politics enough, because you said that running for office in elections is not the same as a regulatory litigation. What the hell do you think? And this is my point back said to him. I said, what do you think all of this is about if it's not political? Having the unions back Microsoft in this merger is massive, because what the FTC claims they want to look out for workers. This is yet another nail in the coffin for the FTC having a case. It is all politics, and that's what this is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people running these commissions are fucking politicians.
Politicians, bro. Right? Like, what is he talking about? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so you know what I'm saying? Like, listen,
I see these things on Twitter and I just ignore it because I'm just like,
you know what I'm saying? So like, I was like, Lord have mercy, boy, this boy just learned what unquantifiable means, and he just wants to use it. He just said, I want to use this word. Cool, bro. Got you. Much love. But to me, it's like, man. But the reality of this is definitely the big nail in the coffin for the FTC case. A judge is going to look at this shit and say, why are you wasting taxpayers' dollars for this? I'm a Democrat. I'm unabashed. I am full Democrat. I sometimes even lean left, tree hugger Democrat on certain things. I'm a fan of AOC, all that.
I know. You tree hugger.
You goddamn right. Anyway, but the fact of it is, but the FTC commission is absolutely asinine for this move. Asinine. When you have a former DOJ lawyer that has won cases from big corporations come out and say that this strategy is nutty, the Microsoft, not the Meta case, because they're going after Facebook /Meta as well, but he made the point of just saying the Microsoft deal is nutty. It doesn't make any sense. Like, And what you said about is what they came out and said, like, it doesn't matter what it is, we're just going to litigate, because they're at a desperate point. And I get this, and I hope people can follow me on this. What the FTC is wanting to do is try to regulate big business from having their donors and lobbyists dictate elections and politicians. It's been happening. It's gotten worse. You kind of see how politics is now, and big corporations run the show in a lot of situations. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, lobbyists should not be allowed in politics.
Lobbyists should not be involved in politics, but they are. And the big case in point, look at what Sony did. Sony said, forget Brazil. We're sending our people over here to England to go talk to the CMA. That's what the FTC doesn't want to happen. But what makes them look so ridiculous is the fact that here, this is competition, what you've been asking for, because if you had anybody that pays attention to the gaming industry, you would see Sony has been getting away with highway robbery for decades. And Nintendo was doing it before that. Microsoft is like, well, fuck it. If we can't sit here and have good, proper relationships because we haven't been in the game long enough, then how about we just go ahead and throw that back, because that's our asset. Now you're trying to hamper them by saying, no, you can't use your money to compete. And that just doesn't make any sense. And one thing is, like, look, I'm a proud American, all this other stuff, but I have to agree. I have to be on my Sir X-Man. I heard D-Batch say this on RDX too as well. And I agree. This is an American company. You need to stand by your American company on this one. Because if this was Sony making this acquisition, do you think Japan is going to fight them tooth and nail? No. Not one bit. Matter of fact, they rubbing their hands. Is like, shit, we got this. What? Call it. Ooh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So most countries, if not all countries, maybe the EU would be, because EU is a little different, but the EU and now, since which is the craziest thing to me, why they separated Boris Johnson and them got Europe separated from the EU. Anyway, whatever, that's a whole nother topic. But just because, you know what I'm saying, they do things a little bit different, but all across the rest of the world, they're like, shit, we ain't gonna go against our own. And for them, to the FTC to go against their own, I understand what their point is, but it's not. It's a losing case, and it's wasting taxpayers' dollars.
Like you said, the attorney that is like, famous.
Yeah, he's a retired. Yeah.
Like, he even said that this shit is loony as fuck right now. Like, he doesn't understand why they decided to pick this, because yes, they are going against big kind of like tech corporations and stuff that they're doing.
Needs to be.
He's like, but this is not.
Silicon Valley needs to be put in check. Shit's crazy, bro, out there.
This is not where you draw the line right now.
No. This is, and that's what. And it just, Microsoft just has bad timing, right? Because when they just have horrible timing, because when they had the opportunity to get Warner Brothers, Trump wanted them to buy TikTok, and so they had to back off of the Warner Brothers deal. But they already had the deal solidified with ZeniMax, right? And so we would be having Warner Brothers, ZeniMax, and we'd be trying to get Division. Lord have mercy. But then also the situation now, that what makes this whole thing so public and so messy is because of the fact that Meta's doing something. There's another big corporation that's doing something, and I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but the Ticketmaster situation with the Taylor Swift stuff, that's also got thrown up in people's face, because the FTC did not want the Ticketmasters and whatever that merger that they were saying that this shit would never happen, where people would lose their money and get hustled, and it would be more controlled and sustainable, and it was a complete mess. Now they're trying to make do and trying to make it right now, but still, you know what I'm saying? So this is why the FTC is looking at everything as like, look, we're going after every corporation, because if they can just get one of these things to stick, then this, you know what I'm saying? And the CMA is looking at this the same way. If they could get one of these big corporations to buckle, then all hell is going to break loose between these regulators. That gives the regulators some power that they haven't really had before. And this also puts businesses to gotta maybe pull back on these mergers the way that they are. So it's a really crazy situation, but that's why I give it 10% that it doesn't go through, because the 10% for me is the fact of the waiting game, because that's all the FTC can do is throw the waiting game, and Microsoft can be like, you know what, I want to get on with this, and I just want to move on with this. That's the only thing that the FTC can do to try to mess with this now. But I just don't see a judge even giving them a chance. They can try to appeal, but I don't see any judge giving the FTC any power whatsoever. They will lose in court constantly, and eventually that shit will start getting more public, and then you got people who are deep into politics like I am, that don't give a damn about video games starting to get pissed off and saying, look, Biden, you got to control your dogs, because y'all, you know what I'm saying, you're spending my money. So, and then that's when you can get some changes on that. But the one factor is the EU and the CMA. I think the CMA is more posturing. They're just trying to be cool for Sony, because they just got good rapport, the whole thing with what's his name, Jim Ryan having a relationship, going to college with one of the regulators at the CMA, friends, locking down lobbyists, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The EU is the one to look out for. The EU passed this, there is nothing. It's a done deal. Doesn't matter about anybody else, technically, because at that point, the CMA is not going to go. I mean, the CMA could go against the EU, but then when you have the EU, and then what? You'll have the CMA and the FTC, which the FTC can't do anything but sue. Microsoft could say, okay, cool. How much we got to pay? Well, you got to pay $10 billion. Fuck it. Here, take this $10 billion and get off my back. And then at that point, then the government got their money. They're, it's government like, oh shit, we got our money. CMA, you better back off. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you just on your own. China can sit there and they're gonna posture a little bit, but then when they know they got Tencent and all that other shit, they're like, nah. Okay, we'll hold on to it, say something, move on. All the rest of the countries is gonna go through. It's gonna pass. So it's really up to the EU. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know you're saying the CMA can put it, but it's really the EU. Because I feel if the European Union makes that call and saying that it's cool.
Well, the EU represents so many more countries.
Than the CMA.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the thing with the CMA, right? England is it's a big money market, but the fight could be go to court. It's like, look, everywhere else is saying we cool, even in our home country. You know what I'm saying? You want us to not put COD on Call of Duty on what you call it? Cool. We'll sit there and we'll take you to court. And then you got to go through that litigation. And while Microsoft can go ahead and put Call of Duty on where everybody else will sit there and they can go ahead and just go through it and do what they want. And then they can sit there and put COD on everywhere else. You don't think people ain't going to be pissed off that COD is not going to be on is not going to be played in Europe? I mean, well, not Europe, but in England. You don't think them England gamers ain't going to be pissed off about COD is not coming up there? Or maybe hell, it could be all of Activision games. Could you imagine all them PC gamers out there not getting a chance to get those Blizzard's games? Bro, come on. Man. Come on. Be crazy. So I think the CMA is a factor, but it's more of the EU in my opinion, because the EU has got more countries, they got more stature, and the fact that it's just, you know what I'm saying, that if they deny Microsoft, that's a blow.
They definitely speak for a larger share, because it's being a union. Right. Then you got Germany, right. Spain, Portugal, like the whole European Union. So yeah, I definitely see that. Yo, real quick, I got to give a shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. That is right, bro. You are the super chat MVP tonight. He said, PlayStation players hate on Xbox until there's a game that they want on their console. We have seen this way too many times. And, it's funny with that, I've seen a lot of PlayStation extremists talk shit about Starfield, right? But as soon as there's something like, oh, well, what if, Xbox, puts Starfield on PlayStation to help, in terms of concessions to get this.
No.
This deal
I could have read my own super chat.
What happened?
He's reading your super chat.
I could have read my own super chat.
I'm sorry. Did
I
you want
just
me
He was reading it.
excuse me, Sir X-Man. Did you want me to cut off my panel members from giving their opinions for me to
No,
read your
sir.
super chat?
I just messing with you, bro. How's everybody doing, man? Calling
Yeah,
from location.
Are you are you coming to us live from your cell phone?
Yes, Daddy.
We can tell because you sound so muffled right now. It's crazy.
You know what? It ain't no better than your sound box.
Yo, I am having audio issues tonight, man. I can't lie. I can't lie. You guys have been great when it comes to this. But hold on, real quick, Sir X-Man. I do want to get to what Dragonheart Yobi, real quick. I want to get to what Dragonheart Yobi said. First off, a member for 11 months, one more month, and you are a member for a year, brother. Thank you so much for the support. I like what he says here. He says, Sony don't want the unionization. When that happens, everything is out in the open and around the industry. They are looking like clowns out here. Now, yeah, I'm actually, dude, I thought that was a really great thing to say in terms of the
Sony
unionization.
don't care. Sony
Because
don't care.
yeah, Microsoft's like, yeah, developers unionizing, yeah, that's no problem, and we're for that. Or when it comes to Activision stuff like that,
they're for this deal. So yeah, they're like, yeah, they opened Pandora's box in the right direction for developers. That was another argument that Brap brought up too. That was saying, well, these were just QT testers. Listen, it doesn't. Every employee is just as important as the next. Like I don't. And so just when going from just a QT to, from the testers,
what that got harassed.
No, no. His point was that was just only the QT testers or QA testers, whatever they're called. The testers that got the union situation passed. They're the bottom of the barrel. Bro, you don't think that's not going to be moved up? That's not how unions work. They don't just work with just one sector of a company of a company. That usually is going to be everybody else that's going to be a part of the union. They got to sign up for it.
I was a part
of it. It's non-salary. It's non-salary most of the time with unions.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
QA testers,
hourly contract employees, stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, gaming is different because there's really not unions in gaming yet, so it's kind of a different situation. But the thing of it is that like there could be separation, but for the most part, if the devs decided that they didn't want it, then they voted for it. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't the one thing where they just, well, we're not going to talk to the devs. We're not going to talk to, we're just going to talk to these QA testers and that's it. That's not how that shit works. So, you know what I'm saying? The ignorance is ridiculous. I don't know why people, go crazy like that and try to say just any damn thing.
Yeah, I just came in for
Man, who let this bitch ass Mogwai in here?
Oh my God, the bitch is back. I thought she was eating a donut, Dark. I had a second.
Oh man, I'm not a cop. Shit, man.
Well,
Jesus.
Sir X-Man, you came in on the last panel member talking about our last topic.
He's not the last.
I know.
RG Diaper's in here too.
But I know, sorry. But that was the only thing. K-Mega points were 100% on the money, man. I just wanted to throw something also to add to that what K-Mega said, and this is true. Xbox and PlayStation are primarily tied as far as consoles in the U.S. They're neck and neck as far as USA. Believe it or not, it is a true fact.
No, in terms of console sales, you're right, man. If not Xbox having a slight lead in the United States in terms of console sales.
You are correct. But you get this deal down, and you have over, let's say 90, 100 million voters that have Xbox. Voters remember, especially gaming voters remember, what whoever's leading this charge, whatever, side they're on, Democratic or Republican, what's going to go down if this deal fails. If this deal fails, and you are the president, and you have this committee that is these people coming up to vote, they go remember this. And they will not, I'm not trying to say Biden or anybody or whatever, but they will remember when election time comes and they will vote you out of office. You know, they might be a party inside, but gamers are very, very fickle. You know we are. And we keep to our shoes on what we love. If you mess up something that we love, and this happens bad, then you could lose us. You might not lose all of us, but you could lose a lot of your voters within that election time. A lot of people don't want to think about that aspect.
If I got a choice between Biden, DeSantis, or Trump,
Oh, no, Trump ain't getting back. Trump ain't getting back in.
Shit,
He ain't getting back in.
I thought about the ABK deal if it didn't go through, but I damn sure ain't gonna pick DeSantis or
But as
Trump.
far as down ballot, you know, maybe we can ignore the presidency, but down ballot,
oh yeah, no,
you can see you'll probably see an effect from this from gamers. You know, they might say, okay, you got to go. We need somebody more on our side. We need somebody younger that understands where we're coming from, and that could affect everything. You know, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just stating that fact that every little thing you do to people that represent the United States, and you don't back the United States. People see this, but you let other companies from other foreign entities do whatever they want to do in this damn country, it's going to affect you in the end. But that's it. That's all I want to add on to K Mega's point, because his points was 100% on par, man.
Appreciate it.
No, shoot.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime, my friend.
Just kissing ass, man. Just kissing it.
You better keep kissing that
You gonna give him a reach around too? You gonna give him a reach around too? You gonna get on all knees
I'm gonna tell you,
and suck a little pickle, you know?
Hey, Dark, if this deal fails, I give Sony like 5 to 6 years left.
5 to 6 years.
If
These old Pete,
fails, you only get
Why
5, 6 years.
why is it that here's the thing, I hear this all the time. Why does everybody want PlayStation to fail? I don't understand.
I don't want them to fail. I don't want them to fail. I just want them to stop being selfish. I want them to stop thinking about themselves and start thinking about the fucking consumers.
Hold on, that's what a company and a corporation does.
Right.
The definition.
They think about themselves.
They need to make the most money that they can. That's like the definition of a corporation. So when it comes down to it, even when it comes to Microsoft and Xbox, I hate to tell you guys, but their top priority is to make the most money possible. All right, when it comes down to it, it's not like always like pleasing the consumer or whatnot. Like it's about making the most
doing it right
possible.
now. They're doing it right now because it's working in their favor. Yes.
Well, yeah.
But once that stops working in their favor, they're not going to give a shit about you guys.
No,
what they're going to do is they're going to start making money for them, and they don't care about. They still don't care about you, even if they are doing good things.
We actually have an area of example when it comes to this. If you look towards the end of the 360 era, right? When Xbox was dominant, right? What did they do? All right, they came out with a peripheral called the Kinect. When you look at their look at their first party output after the Kinect came out, they were coming out with strictly Kinect games. I mean, they came out with Halo 4. But you look at they became lax with their traditional games and their first party development, and they went on their peripheral at that point in time. But like that's they went where they wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? They were kind of like they were at the top of the mountain with the 360, and they put all their chips into Kinect, and they kind of left the traditional games kind of like on the back burner, which hurt them towards the end of that generation going into the Xbox One generation. they were number one, and they weren't necessarily listening to everybody, and they
Right.
did what they wanted to do to make money.
And the only reason why it's switched is because there was leadership. When you get new leadership at a company, it could go either way. That's the difference. Is that it just because Xbox is doing well now doesn't mean if they get new leadership in there, they're going to change stuff and make it worse. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's a potential of happening. And it's the same thing with Sony. They can make things worse if the leadership comes in and says, "Well, we're going to take this away. We're going to do this. We're going to do that," and it doesn't benefit anybody.
With Jim Ryan, though, like he
Yeah, it did. I'm not saying it didn't happen with PlayStation. It has happened with PlayStation. He has come in and he hasn't really been the Yoshida that we know, the Sean Layden that we know, and that could be a potential big problem in the long run. Right now they're doing okay. Right now they're doing okay, but in the long run it could be a potential disaster. But we'll have to see. It's the same thing with Xbox. Like the Xbox is doing really well right now with Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's doing a lot of things, but it doesn't mean that Sarah Bond or Mike Ybarra, when they get in, they change stuff and it could be worse. It just happens with companies, and that it all really comes down to leadership. And and when I hear it, it kind of bothers me when people say it. They say it about Xbox too, and that bothers me. Why do you want these companies to go away as gamers? Like you don't.
I do not want PlayStation to go away.
Both of these companies molded the way gaming is right now for everybody.
But when people say these things, it makes it sound like they want these companies to go away.
This is the thing of when I say that PlayStation will no longer be the. I say PlayStation will not be the leader by the end of this generation.
But I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about what Sir X-Man said, and then I've heard other channels say this. I mean, I'm not going to name them here because they're kind of on the crumb side of YouTube, but
I get it. But this is the thing right here, right? Like I there was I think it's Poe who said it. Like, I mean, for Sony exclusives, there's only like three exclusives that I care about from them. Really, mainly two. But I'll give it three. So other than that, like, I don't really care. Like Sony lost me a long time ago because of just the way that their direction. And so it's not like, what I'm saying, but that doesn't mean I want them to fail or to go away. Huh?
Yeah. Which makes sense for you.
Yeah. And so what it is for me is that I just feel that their policies, their direction is so narrow-minded. It's not what it used to be where they had where, what I'm saying, like you said, all companies want that money. Like regardless, I mean, well, Xbox has the best value right now. If they do become market leader, that's what I would love for them to be the market leader, but to have a substantial lead like PlayStation or Nintendo have, I don't know if I would want that because Microsoft will get too lazy, and then and then they get greedy, and then that's the thing. I kind of want them to be close in the hunt. I just want
kind of like how PlayStation is right now. They're greedy,
right? Yeah,
with a lot of
PlayStation's
stuff.
Too comfortable, and that's why I said what I said earlier was that what they're they're too comfortable where they're at, and they don't want to be pressed in order for them to do the hard work to maintain this be number one. That's why my reasoning is that they won't, with Xbox get this deal, this is going to change a whole bunch of shit because, the Game Pass is the future. Sony knows it. Amazon knows it. Nintendo knows it. Everybody knows this. And so, but PlayStation just doesn't. PlayStation could easily go and fight because what people were expecting with the tiers and everything, that they were just going to blow the doors open with deals and with backwards compatibility. And now I'm seeing PlayStation fans out there saying, "Man, why don't you just go ahead and cut the PlayStation Plus tier, the top tier, because that shit is garbage." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, premium.
Yeah, premium
shouldn't even be
right
at all. Like there shouldn't even be a premium. It should just be extra and then essential. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, let's not forget, and just like what I'm seeing what Geeky Nerd said, yeah, Microsoft tried to double up the price of live on our ass, low key, because everything was
They did.
because everything was all high and mighty. Everybody was in love with Xbox, and then they was like, well, let's go ahead and slink that in. And then Phil was like, yeah, see, I told y'all not to do that shit yet.
They tried to, and then it didn't work on them. It didn't work.
They tried
But
corporation. Yeah.
doesn't mean that they won't do it later on
No,
either.
they'll do it.
You know?
Double the price is fucking insane, bro. Okay.
Oh yeah, it is. It is, but it doesn't mean that they won't gradually try to get to that price.
But hold on. See, but this is the difference. It's a difference when you double the price when you have the games and you got the exclusives and you have the value of Game Pass so damn dominant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not even caring at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you sit here and they get that Activision deal. So they get the Activision deal. They got COD. Then they got the stuff from ZeniMax, and then those Xbox games started rolling. That from these studios, and then it's kind of just rolling. Then also they got the deals coming from third party, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's all cooking, like a lot of us are predicting that it will be cooking, are you really going to be tripping out if Game Pass is $25 a month?
If everything is cooking, no, I don't think anybody should be tripping at that point.
They weren't raising the price of Game Pass at that point. They were raising the price of Xbox Live, which but
you know what I'm saying, yeah. Like, but you know what I'm saying. Like, are you really going to be upset if everything is cooking now? If things are like 2022, fuck no. Are you kidding me? Because just think if they did raise the price and people was in love with 2021 and was like, oh man, I cannot wait for 2022. Man, it's going to be nuts. And then 2022 came what it was, and we accepted the fact that they raised the price. All hell was going to break loose, and then Microsoft would put themselves in a bad position. So,
dude, Game Pass,
good that they listen to the gamers.
This year, Game Pass.
Game Pass saved Xbox.
Well, this year, and it got hit bad with 4 delays. 4 delays for games in Game Pass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You look at Atomic Heart, you look at Stalker 2, which are, they're multi-plats, but they were going day and date in the Game Pass, and then you look at Redfall and Starfield. Imagine if those 4 games came out into Game Pass this year. Like, right, no, on top of everything else, insane. It would have been a great year. No, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that it didn't. And so, and I'm all for the delays. The delays needed to happen. You don't want to have another Halo Infinite situation.
You don't want another Cyberpunk situation either.
Cyberpunk. You don't want that. And that's what I'm saying. Let these games cook. If they, like I said before, if they wanted to delay Starfield or Redfall again, we just be pissed off about it. But there's going to be so many fucking games coming out on everything. You shouldn't be bitching. When I see people on social media come out and say, "Oh man, there ain't nothing to play Xbox over here," then it's dry. No, motherfucker, you just ain't playing no games. You too busy twiddling those thumbs instead of twiddling them sticks. There's plenty of shit to play. And if you are a gamer like you claim to be, you don't have just one console. I mean, you could be, but if you have one console, then that means you should have an abundance of games in order to be on social media talking about gaming like everybody else do. Either
it's like us,
or you have just one with plenty of games to play.
Well, it's like us earlier, right? Where we were like, well, me at least earlier, where I was like, I haven't played High on Life yet. I want to play it. But I just don't have the time to because I have other games I'm playing. There's so many fucking games, man. It's ridiculous. Like this year was very good. I mean, I don't think it was the best year or anything like that, but I think we had some really solid games that came out this year that I wanted to get to. Like I'm playing right now, I'm playing The Witcher, but then I'm also playing Midnight Suns, and I'm having a blast, and I want to get to High on Life. I just don't have the time to. So I think it's just
playing games that aren't exclusive. You gotta play only exclusive, man.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. If you're a real gamer, you don't play just exclusives. You play third party. You play, Well, I shouldn't say real gamer. I should say if you're a hardcore gamer. If you're a hardcore gamer, you definitely are playing third party. You're playing second party. You're playing first party. You're playing indies. You're playing everything. You're playing stuff that people probably look they'd probably look at you shady if you announced what game you were playing.
Right, yeah.
There's some games out there, you know those games where you're like,
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
hopefully none of my friends catch me playing this game.
I ain't tripping about it no more. But I like Crisis Core. I'm going to get that.
I want to play that too.
Yeah. I got to get that.
I have no interest in that game. Yo.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because you're not a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, you're not a Final Fantasy fan. I'm a Final Fantasy fan. You know what I'm saying? Right after this show, I'm finna pick up Rumblefish 2. You know I'm gonna
Jeez, man. So many games.
A fighter. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a fighting game coming to the Xbox, and it was a classic PlayStation 2 game here that I can play on my Xbox. Bro, I'm on it, man. This is what I say, like when people say that they don't have shit to play, it baffles my mind. Like, look, it's cool to just only want to play one certain type of game, but hell, even with free to play and
they need to open their mind to other genre of games. Like me, I opened up my mind a lot this year with a lot of the genre of games. Like I would never touch it. I would never touch an RTS. But as soon as Midnight Suns came out, I was there. Well, not necessarily as soon as it came. As soon as I saw your gameplay, exactly. As soon as I saw your gameplay and I saw you were enjoying it, I was all like, me and K Mega kind of have a similarity in taste of games for the most part, right? For the most part. And I was all like, I'll take a look at it and try it out. And I'm glad I did because it's a freaking fantastic game. And I think people need to open their mind to more games, and maybe if you can't afford to buy some of the the games, especially since they're at $70 now, wait till they're on sale, or wait until they go into Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or whatever. If they come to PlayStation Plus. I mean, there hasn't really been much that came to that. I don't think that
game coming out here this month. I forgot what that game was, but it was a really good game.
Yeah.
On PlayStation Plus. I mean, PlayStation Plus itself, like the games that they do is really good, but that top tier, oh my God.
That top tier premium, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth buying it at all. Gross. Yeah. I don't even think extra is worth it right now, to be honest, but that's just me.
Guys, I hate to break up this romantic novel between
you was talking like crazy. You know what I'm saying? You was cutting off Pred. Pred was just having a good time. Crispy always interrupts.
Pred probably fell asleep.
Pred left, I think. But I'm just saying, I was like, let Pred can talk as long as he wants to tonight. You know what I'm saying? You kept interrupting them talking and shit. I said, man, the bot don't shut the hell up, man. You the host.
I'm just doing what I do, man. I'm just doing what I do.
Do like what K Mega does on GRG. He just shuts the fuck up and let us talk.
Right. I just walk off. I go fix me something. If I know it's one of you talking bastards,
That's all
I
it
just
is.
let y'all talk.
I am just the host. But guys, on that note, man, I got work tomorrow morning, man. We gotta wind this down, man. I gotta get ready. I gotta go to bed. All that good
Take
stuff.
Your punk ass to bed. Wow, we got Midnight Suns, man.
We got Midnight Suns and The Witcher.
And The Witcher. But and Rumblefish. Let's go.
Huge shout out to the chat, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We are back in our traditional form here at Next Podcast, and it was great to see everybody as well. We got to get in. What do I say? I almost forgot what I say. Like a 40-year-old with a comb over. It's time to get those plugs in.
He's turning into the 40-year-old with the comb over. He's getting forgetful, Lord.
I have no comb over, man. I just shave my head. That's all.
You got to lay down. You got to lay down.
Yeah.
You got to lay it down, boy. That boy got to lay it down.
Well, let's get into these outros. Let's start with Pred on this one, man. When they said I thought he left, I actually had to check Discord real quick.
Oh yeah, I thought he
No, I had to take a phone call. I put you on pause for a minute, but I'm good. I can hear.
All right, well, Pred, it is time for your outro, man. What do you got for us, brother?
Bye, bitches.
Ah.
I missed my my jazz fruits this weekend. This week. And
I got them. Oh damn it! I sit there and I forget. I got it too.
It's all right, man.
Don't you worry about it. My bad. I got
We had
it
too much
too.
fun
Why
last
you
week
told me
with
to
that
get
shit.
it?
So
Yeah.
we give everybody a break this week, man. See y'all next week, man. Make y'all get some Witcher in, and see y'all next week, man. Let's go.
Nice, brother. And let's see. Next on let's go with the Angry Otter, man. Yo, Dark. What do you got for an outro, bro?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Darkonimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation. But it's been a blast, bro. Can't wait to do it again. Maybe I'll come by next week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things are going right now. But
I'm concocting a very energetic topic for next week, man. You might want to join.
I might want to join. Okay.
You'll see in the DM, man. But I'm gonna keep it under wraps for a while, and like next week.
Do it on Wednesday at 11:59.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh shit.
But yeah, like I'm concocting a topic that could be absolute fire. So yeah, you might want to join. But dude, it's always fun having you on, man. It was good to hear you. You were the first one in on Discord tonight, and I appreciate that. So
yeah, man.
We'll see. We'll see, guys, if the Angry Otter is back next week. It's gonna be interesting, man. But let's see. Next on the list, let's go with let's go.
That's just
K-Mega.
me. It's just me. Ain't nobody else here.
Let's
like,
go
what
with
the hell,
K-Mega.
man?
Well, we got
Viper's here, but you know
he said in the chat he's lurking, so I'm just gonna let him lurk. Is what I'm gonna do.
Let him lurk.
Yo, K-Mega, what's going on with you, bro? What's up with the outro, man?
You know what I'm saying? I had to let you know Dark belongs to us now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta negotiate with his manager right now if you want him to come on the next podcast.
Who's his manager, by the way?
You know what I'm saying? K-Mega. You know what I'm saying, man? You know,
K-Mega.
He's part of the
These
RG
nuts.
family. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were trying to make a
these
name for
salty
yourself
chocolate
in this
balls.
industry,
That's what you
but
need to get on anyway. But
I don't know about your
I like.
hiring.
Hey man, listen. I like to be in the slums. All right, you know,
These
slums
nuts
and
got a name.
PRG, baby.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was at least, you know what I'm saying, so close to the suburbs, but damn.
You're suburbs. You're probably it's more
We're
suburbs.
kind of up, middle tier, smaller tier suburbs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, there you go.
You can rest your head and not hear. You can hear a gunshot, but it'll be you're safe. Let's put it there.
Yeah, it's not like Section 8 housing like next podcast, you know.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
Don't you dare make fun of my subsidized housing.
The ghetto. We talking about
It's not Section 8, but it's close, bro.
It's close, right? Yeah, it's close.
Get your name on the government. I ain't mad at you,
Yeah, I can't be mad at you. Can't be mad at you at all.
There won't be no GRG because I'm finna get surgery next Wednesday. I hope you guys wish me luck. I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah, wish you luck on that, man.
I'm ready. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. But I'm ready, man.
He's gonna get a vagina in his armpit.
Oh shit!
Well, you know what? I know I got.
I have one of those.
I always knew you and your wife were kinky, man. I didn't know how kinky until now.
I need to maybe put it on where my
I'll tell you how
knee
kinky
is on the left side of the knee. Yeah, it's on my knee. I can get to work then.
Oh,
what did Fred say? What'd you say, Fred?
What happened? What?
Anyway,
Jazz flute.
I know jazz flute time. Damn it! I had it. I got it too. I didn't put it in. Oh shit! But yeah, no, I will do fight night Sunday. Thank you guys for last Sunday, man. It was so fun. Playing Killer Instinct, Street Fighter. I was doing pretty good, and then there was one dude coming there. He started beating the dust off our ass of Street Fighter, and then we played some Melty Blood. Man, it was really good, fun. But yeah, we'll be doing Fight Night again. Seeing if I play him with. And you know what? I will say this: I played some Halo last weekend with Don and One Bad Mother and them, and you know what? One Bad Mother is he talks some shit, bro.
Yeah, he does.
It's usually low key, but when you hear him, it's like, oh shit.
No, bro.
Yeah.
He got mad because we were playing. We was in the forges, so we was going against each other, and so I was getting his ass, and I was saying, "Look, man, I don't know where you get. I know you good, but you better understand, I ain't no pushover." And so then the next round, I know. Thank you. The music is playing. He came up and he dusted my ass, and he says, "Where's that shit talking now, Mega?" I said, "What? Oh, okay." But anyway, thank you guys so much. I know that's the time to get out of here. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys next year. Y'all stay blessed, man.
Nice. And guys, be on the lookout on this channel. My job is going for a partial shutdown.
Nobody cares. Nobody
So
cares.
I'm gonna have
He
more
says time to
time.
go.
Oh, hold on, I gotta do this on my
Oh, he turned that shit
channel.
up.
Okay. So be on the lookout for more videos and more live streams. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on the next podcast. And we will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Oh shoot! Good night, everyone.
Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now.